And we are live. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Polymorphed D&D. I hope everybody's doing fine. This is a very late session. Again, we're just trying to schedule things as best as we can, but it's far from easy sometimes. Also, down one members as well couldn't be here, but he may be watching or something. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe he is in the chat at some point. Maybe he isn't. But anyway, yeah, we're back here. It's only been about a week since last time, right? I mean, when we played last week?
Very much.
Friday,
yeah. So it's been just over 1 week, but we're, at least it's the next week, just later in the week, because it's Sunday today, right?
Yep.
Indeed. It's God's day.
Okay. Well, just trying to keep track of the days, because, it all just blends together.
It's the final day of February.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can do 28 days.
Just 28 days this year.
This year?
Well, yeah, sometimes it's 29.
Oh, I thought you meant like, this year is 28
Oh,
days.
no, in February.
You meant month, right?
It's so weird that this is the only month where that actually works.
Yeah.
Like,
It's way better.
Do 31, 30, 31, 30, and then just like 31 twice. And then like, nah. 28.
There are, however, worlds like the Dawn world that have perfectly regular calendars with 28 days in every month. Isn't that fantastic? So
perfect.
satisfying.
It's almost like someone made it up.
Yeah, the gods. The gods were like, hey, we gotta make this mathematically satisfying. 14 months of 28 days. That's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Did you say 14 months?
Yeah, there are 14 months.
But how do you divide that by 4?
Well, you don't. Because some seasons are longer than others. I mean, that's the case in the real world as well, if you get technical about it.
No, every season is exactly as long as the next
Yes, 3 months each.
Yeah.
No.
This means our characters are a little bit older than what we write down. Wow.
Yeah, that is
God
true.
damn it.
But we have gone over that. Anyway, let's not spend the entire session debating calendars. I don't know if there are any calendar experts or whatever one would call that.
Calendrologist. Nice.
Sure. I guess it's... I suppose calendars are maybe part of astronomy to some extent. Because, it's the sun and the stars. Well, not stars, but... Well, meteorology for seasons. Whatever. Let's get into the recap, shall we?
Yeah.
So, last session, we started off with a bit of a surprising visit from Dara's little patron. So I had to kick all of you out of the call 5 minutes into this session. Dara later explained to the rest of you that she was told to eventually head up north to Northport, where she was supposed to find a captain of a ship that could take her out on the seas for a particular destination. Storm, upon waking up, before Dara obviously told everybody about this, but Storm, you found 2 letters snuck under your door. One from Benedict Blaze and the other from your informant Herod. Blaze informed you that the expedition date had successfully been pushed forward a bit to the 21st of Autumn's Wind, and that you were expected to be, if you don't talk to him before that, you're expected to be at the Brine of Mare, a ship in the harbor, no later than noon on that day, so you may set out on time. The second letter from Herod told you that he had organized a meeting at the Garden of the Alder Blood at noon the same day for the poison trade that you have spoken about before. The rest of you, all of you, kind of gathered at the Knock as usual, and you did some planning as usual, talking more so than doing. You also made a bit of a bet that Storm is going to be able to find Fawnen and where he goes.
Right.
Where he goes at night. Yeah, that I can't remember exactly the stakes, but everybody was either going to pay him something or Storm was going to pay everybody else.
I think it was like 10 gold or something.
Yeah, it was no massive sum of money, but it was a handful of gold each that was put into the pot. And yeah, a bet was made anyway.
This is gonna be satisfying.
As per Herod's request in the letter, you also had to acquire some food to bring to the garden. So you did a bit of a special customized takeout order from the Nocturnal Nymph, and you used this tin box that Arisa provided to stuff it with sausages and shrimp and vegetables and all that stuff. And then you headed out for the garden. Once you got to the Garden of the Alder Blood, you realized that it was a quite strange place. All these massive alder trees growing in unique and strangely almost like they had personalities to the way that they grew. I believe Arisa looked into it a bit more and was quite certain that there's some magical element to it. But you did encounter Herod and a half Draxonian poison peddler going by the name of Choruk Hyunju. You made the purchase, and after that, Herod told you that he suspected that the assassin that is after him was likely waiting outside, and you did go out and investigate, and he had brought some more people. So you made a plan with Herod to protect him, basically deciding that you were all gonna follow him unseen and then attack the attackers when they did something. So you followed him, kept an eye on the people following him as well. And once he got into an alleyway, the attackers made a move and you attacked them. However, failing to stop the main assassin from dropping down from the ceiling or from the roofs, landing right next to him and stabbing him in the throat.
Rest in peace, Herod.
Well, in the chest, I think.
Top 10 character. Rest in peace.
Top 10 character Harry.
Top 10 character. Fuck.
Esop Herod.
No, Harry.
Yeah.
Top 10 Harry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Harry. Of course.
Oh yeah, Harry.
Informant Harry.
Top 10 Harry.
Did Assassin Man make it onto the list as well?
Of
Assassin
course.
Man, right? Assassin Man.
He's A tier for me, unfortunately.
Fuck, dude.
There are more S tier characters, but you gotta.
Either way, the plan did backfire and Herod died right next to Storm, kind of just using his last words to say that Storm had lied to him in making the promise to protect him.
Yeah,
there was a bit of an agreement made between the Assassin Man, as I happen to refer to him as in a certain context, which then caught on and became the main name for him, along with people like Horseshoe Ginger, Assassin Man,
Rust Grey Silverbeard and so.
Official name.
Rust Silver Greybeard. I will tolerate this mix-up of his name no longer.
How do you do it?
Arisa, however, did not realize that there was a deal made between Storm and the assassin to just walk your separate ways. So Arisa continued to attack. Everybody else also continued to attack later. And as the guards of the city watch kind of moved in on your location and prepared to make some arrests, you all had to flee. But Arisa just stayed there after having polymorphed the assassin to a snail, which was then thrown to Storm, dropped, and then polymorphed again. After escaping, though, Storm just threw it at a wall or onto the roof, I think, of a building.
Assassin snail, dude.
You threw Assassin Snail and it turned back into Assassin Man. And the two of you parted ways, just him giving you a bit of a nod of mutual respect for coming to a professional agreement, so to speak. So you walked away, Arisa being arrested, the rest of you regrouping at the knock. After realizing that Arisa was arrested, Florp was sent out to try to find where she was being kept, but he ended up getting stuck in some melted sugar and all kinds of things, as he was just a small little spider boy crawling his way through the garrison. Storm, however, took an opportunity to just look through some of the eyes hidden within the ring, and saw two servants kind of walking around investigating the place, seemingly realizing that there had been some sort of break-in, or at least noticing that something was off about the place. After that, Storm headed out to the north gate of the city to spend the rest of the evening there, just keeping an eye open in case Vaughn would drive through on his carriage. Following that, Fritz went off on a bit of a solo mission, seeking out the location that was pointed at in the letter he was given. There, Fritz talked to some sort of man working for the ring, who made an offer inviting Fritz to come watch the next fight that was going to take place there the following night, to kind of be able to gauge and make up his mind whether or not Fritz was interested in fighting or competing in the future, during a future fight, essentially. Fritz was given a few pointers as to dress at least moderately nicely and to wear a mask of some sort, but the mask criteria is it's up to the individual themselves to determine how well masked they wish to be. The policy is just that you have to wear a mask of some sort. You're also told that you may bring somebody else if they are willing to pay a fee of 250 gold for entry. And then lastly, as Storm was sitting out there by the gate, just rolling his thumbs, waiting for something to happen, Storm looked through the eyes one more time, just every once in a while, looking if something else was going on, and found something else was happening there. One of the servants was back, this time with another man, with long blonde hair and a wild beard, and most noticeably, two glowing red translucent arms. This man was seemingly very mad, as he picked up the servant by his throat, snapped his neck, and then cracked the very stone of the walls with a single punch. And as he was raging on, he broke the entire shelf where the eye was hidden, thus destroying the eye and making it so you lose access to seeing into the actual ring itself. But that was also where we ended last session, on a bit of a cliffhanger. So,
Dun, dun.
it is getting late. Most of you are probably back at your temporary abodes. Storm you see this thing, but it's about the time that you're probably gonna be heading back to what's the name of your tavern again, where you're staying? Could you remind me?
Yes, I can. It's the Howling Siren.
Good job.
Bitch.
So yeah, as you're preparing to head back to the Howling Siren, that is when you would see this this thing. Do you just head back and take your night's rest, or what do you want to do?
Yeah.
Okay. So does anybody else want to do anything this night, or do we just jump to the next day?
Yeah.
I think it's jumping to the next day.
Alright. Yeah, you all go to bed. Dara, you're a bit lonely since Arisa isn't there. She's still in prison somewhere.
Blue balled.
My old friend.
Blue balled by authority.
But yeah, the next day comes. Dara, you wake up first. Is there anything you want to do in the morning?
Well, Florp failed last time, but Florp is a pretty smart boy, so I
My
send him out again.
Okay, make another investigation check then.
I'm gonna take out his impressive stats. If only I had a druid that could help him. Oh.
Well,
It's an investigation, just so we don't make sure. A 15.
okay, a 15.
Yep.
You send Florp through the corridors and the many rooms. You find some guards that are once again just sitting there, kind of. This time more kind of half sleeping, since it is very early. Although, you know, they're elves, so they are used to a sleep schedule similar to your own. You eventually go back to the place where you found some of the cells, and you discover another hallway that you hadn't seen before. And eventually you see a cell where Arisa is just kind of sitting there, or else she would be sleeping right about now. So she's just kind of there. It's a very simple, stripped down cell, kind of like a wooden bench that she is sleeping on. But other than that, it's like completely empty.
It's kind of rude to wake someone up when they're sleeping, so I'll wait until she wakes up, and after that, I'm gonna have to speak with her later.
Yeah. You just leave Florp there and decide to check back in later. Okay.
Yeah.
Fritz, you're the next one to wake up. Subway run and back to normal routine, or
Yeah.
all right. So then the rest of you, Storm, Jaxson.
Just some simple breakfast.
Do I see a letter?
You look towards the door, so used to getting letters. No,
Yeah.
there's nothing.
What? Fuck?
So disappointed.
Yeah.
Tornado jumps at you though and licks your face.
Oh. He gets a barrel fish.
Okay. Toss him a barrel fish. He instantly gets to work, just tearing it apart.
Is it just me, or are the barrelfish bigger than Tornado?
Yeah.
I mean, roughly the same size, I'd say.
Yeah. Some bigger than the others, so, you know, depends.
This one was one roughly the same size as him. So
Alright.
he's just kind of like tearing it to pieces,
I
really
treat
clawing
myself-
into it.
I treat myself to a barrel fish as well, and
Sure.
then we're heading to the knock.
Knock,
Okay.
knock, knock.
Fucking knock, dude.
So Dara, are you gonna check back in with Arisa before you go and meet up with the others, or are you gonna?
If she has woken up, then I'm gonna check it out.
Well, you don't know, so that's what I mean. Like, do you want to check
check
in
out.
with her? Okay. Yeah, you check in around the time that you reckon the others will probably be at the knock, and she seems to kind of be waking up, like she is still kind of sleepy, having just gotten up, just like laying there and just taking it easy.
I'll move closer.
She just kind of like twitches for a moment as you just do the pss, pss thing, and she's like, well, doesn't really seem to understand what's going on for a second, but as you say, like, Arisa, she seems to kind of like...
Down here.
Dara?
Yeah, the spider down here in the corner.
Oh, hi! She just picks you up.
Thanks. Do you want help to get out?
No, I'm good.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm gonna try the legal system. I don't want to be a criminal, you know. I'll just explain to them that... I'm just gonna explain that I'm innocent and they'll have to let me go. And if it doesn't work, I mean, I'll just leave anyway.
Are you really, really sure?
Well, I mean, yeah. If they won't let me out, I'll just leave and I'll meet you on the 21st.
Well, I suppose if that's what you want to... just try to contact me if you want to get out. I'll send in floor occasionally.
I'll just leave, don't worry.
Alright. If you're certain that you can.
I mean, why wouldn't I?
Fair enough.
Good.
Well, good luck with the legal system. Boop.
Okay, so you just jump out, or jump down and start making your way out, or...
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know if it's how good the spider is of jumping, so maybe transforming back
You just
down.
jump, quickly shoot like a Spider-Man style web thing at the ceiling and just start like swinging your way. Alright, so after that I assume you go downstairs and meet up with the others.
Yeah.
Alright. So yeah, you're all gathered in the main room of the knock. Storm has made his dramatic entrance as usual. Although only Jaxson would be there at the time.
Rip that door. I mean, eventually you're just gonna say, yeah, the door breaks.
Maybe on the last day.
So,
Someone's gonna have to...
how's the holiday going, lads?
Well, I've just been in contact with Arisa, and she's currently trying the legal system.
Well, good luck with that.
Yeah, I kind of asked if she was really, really sure, but she was so very persistent that if it didn't work, she would just leave.
Oh, it works in those area, but hope it's fine.
Yeah, what I know of it, it's not very great.
I think that she can handle it.
Gotta be better than Bellerin.
Yeah,
We're
I think
sure
Dara was
about
pretty liberal on those punishments, though. It's just that you were sent to the Blue Dale mine often.
Well, how's the search going, Storm?
Really well. I got some information. No, I find nothing.
Well,
You can give up
it
right
is the
now. if you
19th
want.
today, right, Jacob?
Hmm?
It's the 19th.
Should be. Let me
Yeah.
check.
Oh, I thought it was 20.
I think it's the 19th today, and it's like in the midnight today.
No, it's
that...
it's only the 18th actually.
Oh, it's not.
Which month is it?
Autumn's Wind.
And what number is that?
18. Oh,
Oh, what number of month? That
Yeah.
is
Oh,
So like
the
the thing.
the 10th month, I believe.
Yes, I got it right.
Okay. Nice to know. Nice to know.
Yeah, the 10th month.
Oh,
Though they don't usually use numbers for the months, they just say the name of the month.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like most people do.
fiction.
Well,
My brother couldn't say all the months. What?
you,
I'll tell you about that later.
what?
Is this Storm saying this, or
It's
And maybe that as well.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think any of us can name all the months in Dawn World.
Storm? By the way, you would know that the Jaxsonian Empire uses a different calendar with different names for the months. So
My fucking god. Different dates? No, it's not different days, I hope.
I mean, the days don't really have names.
Yeah, I mean, different.
System.
Is it 28 days? Every
I have to
month.
look into that. I can't remember. I have it written
Oh,
down.
Jesus.
But the Jaxsonian calendar is different. I think it's actually just completely different.
Fuck.
God. In before it's like 60-day months or something like that. Ugh.
Okay, so I say we just have a holiday until Blaze, and then we freaking go. What do you lads think?
I can agree about that.
Well, it's
I have
fine
nothing
for
to do.
us. It's fine for us, but you're gonna lose the bet.
Well, you know, I'm still not on holiday because I'm looking into that. So
You can give up. It's alright. No.
Yeah.
You can enjoy your last
Thor
days.
never gives up.
I don't know. You seem to be giving up quite a lot, though.
Tell me one thing I've given up.
The coworkers.
What?
No, I'm just kidding. But well, the Night Tide Brigade you gave up on. That was one of them.
Okay, well,
The Abyss you
Lad,
gave up on too.
I didn't even give in. So I never was in, right?
You gave up on Clarice.
Oh, oh yeah.
I never
forget,
You
Don't-
gave
don't
her
forget-
flowers.
don't forget the
So-
Blue Dale Mine. That one you also gave up on.
No, but he didn't really want to go there. But he gave flowers to Clarice.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I'm anti-sexual.
Yeah.
I don't
I
want
used to
nothing.
think that you're afraid of love.
I'm not afraid of anything.
I don't know. You seem pretty afraid of losing all your gold and tornado, but
Lad, I had 5,000 gold when we got sent to Bloomdale Mine. That was because I robbed freaking Riverport. I'm not afraid to lose. Okay, never mind. I'm not afraid to lose gold.
I mean, well, I just say that we enjoy the last days here.
yeah,
Great.
it seems like a good idea.
Fritz?
When is Fritz
Yeah.
getting here?
Oh,
Or is
Fritz
he
is
already
here.
here?
I've been here probably for quite a while.
Came like right after Storm.
Okay, right.
It's just that, you know, you're also used to hearing the like bang of a Storm bashing in through the door, and then when Fritz just humbly pushes it open and just walks in, just trying to lay low, you don't even notice. You know, he's been at the table all along, but you didn't see him because you were so distracted by Storm's
Except
just-
Storm.
over the top presence.
I've just been snacking on my sandwich
Yeah.
the whole time. Yeah.
Fritz, what do you say?
About what? I'm sorry, I've been eating my sandwich.
How can you enjoy the same sandwich every day? What does even? What's the ingredients even?
My goals are beyond your understanding. This is don't
They
worry
certainly
about
are. If you, yeah, okay. What do you think? Holiday? We can do whatever we want until 21st autumn's wind.
21st.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you people are intending to do so,
We don't really have
I'll
any
join the
plans.
trend.
You know,
Yeah.
the eyes. You know, I saw something through them, and I
Mhm.
kind of don't want to go there anymore.
What did you see?
What, the ring?
Helga.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Helga,
I saw a man,
Oh,
a
thank
very
God.
mad man,
Mm-hmm.
looking for something.
I just
Like
look
he
at
lost
Dara.
something. And he was so mad, he snapped a dude in half with his glowing red arms. Yeah.
That sounds.
Yeah, I've never seen something so brutal.
I think that's me and Dara's fault, maybe.
Yeah, I think so too. I pull out the beast mask.
I mean, when we were down there, we just took some stuff.
You
we just
improved.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
like,
Have you learned from me?
no, not really.
No, we haven't gone that far. But if you want the mask,
You've stealing worthless masks instead of
It doesn't seem that worthless
worthful
if he
stuff.
snaps someone's neck for it.
yeah, that seems a little bit uncalled for.
I think he has bigger anger issues than me.
Well, maybe it's a really good-looking mask. I just put it on and see if it's like.
Yeah, it's made of metal, and I know that I said it back then, but it looks like it's been damaged and dented over and over again, and then just kind of fixed by hammering it out again. So it has a kind of rough surface. It's not very nice looking. It's very rustic, and yeah, no.
Is
Yeah,
Nerd is back?
Yeah, sure.
No, it's not very good looking.
No, it wasn't comfortable either. So
Maybe sentimental to him.
maybe
No
we're
one
not gonna
wants
give
to
it back
fight,
to
right?
you.
No.
We're
So
not giving it back.
I suppose
Should we go back there?
I
Do
mean,
you
we
want to go back there?
No,
We can even
I'm
open.
not. You're the ones who stole.
Okay, so you should. By that logic, you should
I
go
don't
back to
see-
Riverport and give back 5,000 gold. You said that you stole 5,000 gold from them.
Well, they weren't as mad. They don't even know I've stolen 5,000 gold.
well, I could always just go invisible, take out a little note and a small white flag, and put them all down and
But
write
we can't get down there
story
now.
on that little lap. Yeah, but just put it outside.
Oh, outside. I mean, I think that we should just try to sneak in if there's a fight soon, and like with the mask on, because they said that they had masks to keep their identity.
You're gonna steal his identity.
No, I like shove it in his face, like be a spectator and see him fighting, and then you stand there with his mask.
Oh, yeah. Fritz looks like he could take him on, so we give the mask to Fritz. Fritz comes in there with the mask. The red man becomes very angry, and then we watch it.
The only bad
Hilarious
part
fight.
about this plan is we don't even know if there's gonna be a fight.
Yeah, that's. If only there was some.
I look
way...
in the eye.
If
You
only
mean the
there
one
was...
that is left?
Yes.
Yeah, you see the floor is closed.
Wow. Rug.
If only there was a way to get someone to contact us when it's going to.
Why do we want to go to fight?
So funny.
This is some high quality meta gaming right here.
If only. Wow.
Yeah.
If only.
If there was like an informant that could come.
If only somebody had been given a letter after the tournament to just like tell us that we were invited and that we could pay 250 gold to be additional visitors.
If only one of the group was literally offered as well.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Well, I'm just gonna enjoy my day looking for some horseshoe ginger. Cheers, lads.
I think I'll just go try to buy some stuff.
See you at Knock tomorrow, same time, same place. Bam, bro. I don't know.
There goes
That worked so well.
You are.
Told him out, dude. Huh.
I should have done that. Oh well.
Okay, so Storm gets up and just walks out. What gate do you go to today? You were at the northern one yesterday. You have northeast, east.
Coast.
Huh?
No, not west.
Okay, so you start swimming.
Southwest.
Okay, so
No, south.
you have the northern one that you were at last time.
Yes.
Then you have northeast, east,
Yep.
southeast, and south.
East.
The eastern one. Okay.
Poof.
So do you head there straight away and then just sit there the whole day, or?
I go to the Drunken Sea Elf, get me some rum. I go to I don't know any other names. I go to the Musty Mushroom and buy some food.
We got the nocturnal nymph, howling siren.
No, he goes to the Musty Mushroom, so it's gonna be a few weeks.
Musty mushroom.
Well, it's that is a real tavern. It's just gonna take a few weeks to get there and back.
In another country.
Yeah, at least it's a neighboring country.
I mean,
Like this, the Howling Siren I don't
really.
like. The knock is too
Drunken
expensive.
sea elf.
The Drunken Sea Elf only have good rum. The other stuff is shit. And yeah, I try to find another new place where you can buy some nice food, and then I'll take a takeaway.
Okay,
Shit! The knock is not the only one with takeaway.
What price class are you looking at to go to? Because you have like the knock, which is
Middle.
top tier.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
Okay, so are we talking better than the Howling Siren or an equivalent?
We're talking about 2 months cost, man. Let's go.
Well, that would
What-
be like Howling Siren tier.
Howling Siren. Yep.
So you just go to the Howling Siren then.
No, I don't.
No.
Howling Siren trash.
Okay, sure. You just find some other places, some other taverns. You pick up some food and stuff, and you just collect your favorites from each place, and then you head to the eastern gate.
Why? But my head have just told me that Howling Siren food is trash. The rest is amazing.
Sure. So the rest of you, the three of you, are still sitting there around the table as Storm gets up and leaves. What do you do?
I think I'm gonna go stroll around the city and maybe buy a thing or two.
How about order some refreshments to my Serge?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
like, is there like ale or beer or wine?
Do you wave over the waiter?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, the waiter approaches and says, "Yes, what can I do for you, sir?"
Oh, yeah. I was wondering, would you have any fancy drinks? No, not fancy. Excuse me. Poor choice of words.
No, it is a very accurate choice of words. We only deal with what would be considered fancy.
Yeah. Well, would you have something that you'd think would fit the sandwich?
How about... Let me just check something. How about a red wine from the Goliath area?
How much would that be?
Fuck.
Are we looking at a glass or a bottle?
Oh, just a glass is fine. Thank you.
Only about 1 gold.
Sure, bring it. Sure, yeah.
Excellent.
I'll have one of them. Yes.
So he kind of looks over at the rest of you. Would anyone else want something?
I can take a glass too.
I'm fine for now.
Actually, you know what? I can share a bottle here with
That sounds good.
Associate. How much would that be?
That would be 8 gold pieces.
Oh, that's perfectly fine. I start digging around in my pouch, I guess.
Sure.
And I pay them.
Yep.
Yeah.
The man. Oh, the waiter man.
Oh, waiter man.
New character unlocked.
Top 1 character.
Not waiter.
It's just gonna end up with every character.
This is the same guy you interact. Like there are 2 people working at the knock. You always interact with the same 2 guys. Okay, you've talked to this guy like 15 times by this point.
I thought there was a girl here as well.
Nope, that's
just Arisa being drunk on the tables all the time.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
All the time.
no.
That's the only girl this establishment will ever get.
I mean, there are plenty. What?
I'm just
Dara.
Hereby now, Dara will never come in as Dara. She will always disguise herself as a man.
So Talkby Birdson is the patron here.
Nah.
Well, he takes your gold and he leaves and comes back soon thereafter with a bottle and 2 glasses that he places and kind of pours the wine into and then places the bottle on the table. Is there anything else?
No, I'm fine, thank you.
Excellent.
I'm fine.
Don't hesitate to call me over again if you would like to order anything else.
Of course, thank you.
Waiter man.
Gives you a small bow and then walks off.
What a lovely man.
Indeed. Yeah, really nice servants here. Much better than Valorant.
Well, we can all agree on that. Although I do think it also contributed that we also always usually went to some of the lower class.
Well, that's not on me. That's on you.
Yeah.
If I chose, we would go to that. I can't really. I don't even remember the name because we weren't there even once.
Well, the only one. What was that? The Cuthbert. We had one. It was
Along
somewhat.
with the goose.
Yeah, it was somewhat decent.
I mean,
I mean, at least we had entertainment.
that's true.
It was a very weird thing.
Sip some wine.
Fritz sits there and is like, the goose? The what?
Right.
Oh yeah, it was a mage had accidentally turned herself into a goose to get through the border security, and yeah, stuff hit the fan quite easily, and she was stuck.
It was when the purge happened, I believe.
Yeah.
And her fellow crewmate or something. I don't know. Maybe not crewmate, but yeah, the one she was traveling with disappeared, and no one could revert her.
Yeah.
So we reverted her because we guess what? Maybe this goose is a person and not being a person.
Well, I just accidentally asked it if it was a mage.
Yeah.
And apparently Cuthbert was very, very happy about that.
And then we need to pay Schraber, right?
Yeah. We did.
But then she paid us back and gave us a little extra gold. Stormy didn't want to give any gold for the cause.
Yeah.
Me and Dara did.
I see.
I mean, she was kind of rude, but
She
then
gave us
again,
money. I mean,
yeah, she was rude in the moment. She
it's
was
a nice
fine.
investment.
We did also establish that
Only nice
honk
memory.
2 times for yes, honk 3 times for no.
Right. I mean, I think that's the only good memory I have of Valorant.
What?
Okay, I think we're done. We're done, Jacob. You can move on now. We're done. We're done.
No.
Please.
No. We gotta discuss every single minor character.
Well, yeah.
when the bottle is like empty, I guess I will come out and go. Go.
Yeah, I think Fritz would have taken at least like 3/4 of it after hearing all this
Yeah.
going on. Just like,
While they're telling the story, you just kind of like empty the glass and then you just pour yourself like a very full one and you just empty that one as well.
yeah, I find myself enjoying the story more and more, but then it's like, oh, it's because my mental capacity is lessening by the minute. Oh, that's why.
Okay, make a Constitution save to see if you're very drunk. Yeah, Fritz.
Oh, 19.
Yeah, you're actually not that drunk, or at least you
not
handle it very well.
not drunk, but like less
Tipsy.
sober. Like things start
inebriated.
becoming fun. Things start becoming slightly funnier.
At the very least, you're very good at handling your intoxication. Like, you don't act drunk, at least, regardless of how much you may have consumed. But yeah, you eventually finish the bottle together, and then what do all of you do?
Well, I've got a little shopping spree kind of
Same.
thing.
You go together or separately?
Depends.
Well, I got two different things I'm trying to do, so
I'm just
One-
going out for some nice clothes, you know.
yeah, it's kind of different from what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
we'll
I
probably
guess
do
we go separate ways.
I'm gonna see if I can get some nicer clothing, because I don't believe I have too fancy clothing happening here.
No,
Then
you have very like peasant tier.
Then I'm
Yeah.
gonna accompany Fritz, I guess. You know, I can help him with.
Look,
Oh yeah,
look,
just like
Fritz,
for no reason whatsoever. Fritz is like, hey, I'm gonna need some nice fancy clothing.
Jaxson is like, oh, I'm gonna show you all of it. Oh,
Finally! I have waited my whole life for this moment.
Fritz, do you mention anything to Jaxson and Dara, or do you just keep it to yourself?
I think Fritz keeps it to himself.
Aww. Now you're just gonna accidentally stumble upon the same tailor or something.
Well, all of you head out. Your separate ways. Dara, what did you wanna acquire?
Well, first of all, because let's face it, Florp has a tendency to die, so I just wanted to stock up on some materials for more Florps.
Sure.
So buy two of those for like
That's
20
easy
gold.
enough. You find some because it's just herbs and stuff, right?
Yeah, herbs, incense, and I think there's something else, but basically easy stuff to find in a temple district.
Yeah, I think you've already done that at some point in the city, so you know where to go and where to look for these things. So it's just a quick trip
that's cool.
around the city, and then you're done.
Yeah.
And was there something else as well? Or-
Yes, I am currently looking for some more books to buy because those 4 hours require some
Sure.
stuff.
Sure. So what are you looking for? What kind of books are you looking for?
Well, I still got some Golden books I haven't read yet, so might as well stock up on them.
All right. So which ones do you have?
I can't find what the first one was called, but I have the Prophet of Celestra.
Right. I'm pretty sure the first one you got was just the Man of Eladon, right? Like the play you actually went to see.
Yeah, probably something like that.
All right. Are you looking for one of Golden Oak the First or Golden Oak the Third's books?
Let's say one of each, so we can compare.
Okay. Roll a d6 for me.
4.
4. You find a historical play by Elahan Golnok III about Queen Calla of Andronia, who is actually the current reigning Queen of Andronia. It is a play that is only about 17 years old at this point, so it is about her early years as queen.
Nice. I'm gonna put in historical play Golden Oak the first, current reigning queen.
No, this is the third. This was a Golden Oak the third's play.
Oh, I misheard. Third, the same, but with a third instead.
Yeah, and then roll a d4 for the other one.
1.
1. You find a play about Wurtgorn the Alder King.
I'm just gonna write down the Alder King
Sure.
because I cannot spell that name.
Which is it is very suiting considering the fact that you are in one of the Alder Kingdoms in this area.
Nice. How much for both of those?
It'd be, I guess, 5 gold each or something like that.
Alright.
Unless you're looking for particularly fancy editions of them.
No, I'll give out 5 gold for each.
Right.
So 10 total.
Yep. And then Jaxson, are you just going for unspecific clothing
Just a
shopping
nice
or
I guess.
a nice what?
Tailor. I mean,
Right, but are you looking for any particular types of clothes, or are you
no,
just
not really. Just some new additions to the collection.
and Fritz, you're just looking for something that is passable, or are you looking for something super fancy, or what are you?
I mean, I feel like, like fairly simple still, but like also pretty, like, obviously not trashy.
Sure.
Just like a tux or something. that would like. Oh, I don't even know the English. Well, just a costume. That's like, it's nothing too. It's nothing special. It's just it looks good.
Nice suit.
Holy shit! I don't know
Well, sure. I mean, people don't really wear suits.
well,
this,
what would?
But I understand
What's
the equivalent.
Word? Why can't? Yeah, the equivalent. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing I was trying to find, like something equivalent to what like our life's costume would be.
All right. Yep. You go around. I'd say I'm always unsure what these things cost. Let me just check this. Yeah, so a full set of finer clothing would be about 15 gold.
It's manageable, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. And Jaxson, if you're buying something, then it is roughly the same price class for you. So 15 gold per full set of like nice clothes that you're buying. Do you want to like customize the things that you buy, or like?
No, not really. I don't need over the like top things, just
Sure.
some normal stuff. Everyday clothing.
Mm-hmm. And everyday for you is obviously fine clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So well, yeah, as I said, it's about 15 gold for a full set of clothes. And if you only want to buy some parts of that outfit, then we'll customize the pricing, but otherwise it's 15.
No, it's just like I'll take everything.
Yep. So you get one full set of clothing.
I get two sets.
Two, yeah. They're in an Osarian cut. That goes for both of you. The things that you buy, they are the local style, unless you look for something that specifically isn't.
I'm happy with the local style, I believe.
Tends to be more like brighter colors. A lot of white, maybe a light beige.
I take some light beige things.
Yeah, some lighter blue tones to it every now and again, like here and there. The kind of stuff. And the two of you don't run into each other. You do manage to find different stores to go to. But yeah. So, is there anything else anyone wants to do the rest of the day? Or do we just fast forward to the evening?
Fast forward!
I think we can fast forward.
Alright. In that case, as it starts to get a bit later in the day, Storm, I'd like you to make a perception check. Also, how much have you been drinking at this point, Storm?
Like 2-3 shots,
Spread throughout the day, or
spread throughout the day. I'm not like
make a Constitution save, just like
you gotta sip on the one. You gotta sip. And you can't
sipping on a shot. Yes, of course.
Yes,
Yeah.
I sip my shot.
Fine taste.
Just dip your tongue in the shot every once in a while.
That's some good ass.
Well, make your
Kettle
Constitution
rum.
check. Or save, technically.
Yeah. I'm looking. That's 13.
Yeah, that's enough. You managed to avoid being properly intoxicated. Kind of like with Fritz, things just are a bit more funny to you. So make your perception check without disadvantage, which you would have had if you got drunk.
That's why you said that. Let's see. I'm just using luck. Why not?
Sure.
That is a high roll. Perception. That's a 27.
27.
Yes.
Sit there, but there's no sign of fawning.
What do I see? Something fun. Something.
You see kind of farmers and things that are moving into the city earlier in the day, probably to sell off their things, and then, more farmers leaving the city towards the later half of the day, going back home to their farms. Every once in a while you'll see a merchant that moves through. Every once in a while you'll see some other people that are just walking. See the guards kind of hassling some people for some extra like money, or just like essentially shakedowns, but from the guards. These illegal things made legal by their badges, pretty much. The typical stuff.
What the holiday storm is having. Then it's a howling siren, yo.
Okay, so as it's gotten too dark to really like stay here and all that, you kind of realize he's probably not coming today, not here anyway. So you return to the howling siren and drink yourself to sleep, maybe. I don't know.
Well,
A storm
pretty
is not
sad.
that
Okay.
sad yet.
Yet that's appropriate. Okay, anyone else want to do anything before you go to bed, except for Fritz, of course, who has something to attend.
9. Right.
Well, no.
Well, I mean, I would
Arisa
guess I
said-
would yes. I want to, if I can get some sort of mask going as well.
Sure.
We'll
Dara
have a
will-
mask for you. Come on.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think I will. I don't think
Do
I'll
we still
use
have
that.
that Barlgura? Do we
Always
still have that
done, you know.
Barlgura mask?
I think you're faster than him, so you'd probably be able to dash away.
Sadly, don't have that.
Uh,
It's on
You're right.
store task.
right.
Oh, I thought it was Clarice who made you throw it out.
No.
Storm, take that thing out.
No, no,
You can't have.
He kept that with him for a long time, man.
Yep.
I don't know why.
Well,
It was gonna be necessary someday, and indeed it was, but now I don't have it. So
Damn, bro.
Why?
Yeah.
well,
I
Dara,
see
did
if
you want to do anything else, or
Well, I'll send in Florp and keep
fuck.
Arisa company a little bit.
Yeah, Arisa would just say that she finally got to speak to a guard that could understand Northern Common, and was and she's very, positive and optimistic that it's gonna work out, that she's gonna be able to navigate through the legal minefields.
Yeah.
Right.
And
And
make it out
outside, I
without a
can-
criminal record.
And let me guess, outside I hear, yeah, when's the public execution?
As you're leaving, you do hear some guards that are like, should really just cut the head off that woman already. We're overdue some good bloodshed. You don't know if they're referring to Arisa specifically, though.
I know there might be a female criminals in this.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen both men and women in the cells as you were trying to find Arisa. And Jaxson, you didn't want to do anything else, right?
No.
Okay, so Fritz,
Yes.
how do you go about finding a mask for yourself?
I don't know. I feel like, I don't know, maybe something like leatherish. Wherever you go for leather.
I mean, well, that'd be called like a tanner, right? I think.
Yeah, I guess.
Yes, you head to the kind of like craftsman's district.
I have
There's,
scars on my face, right?
Yeah, they're not as major as other.
Oh yeah, but if
Places.
they're like, why you need a mask? I'm just like, oh well,
Yeah,
my face is pretty ugly.
you have a
There's
couple of
some-
scars pretty much everywhere that you
Yeah.
can think of. So.
I'm a rob a store.
Yeah.
No, you head over to, I believe, the Forge District is where most of the craftsmen are, and you find a tanner. It's just kind of like has all these kind of leatherwork things.
Yeah.
Just looks at you. So what are you ordering? Oh, actually, no, he doesn't speak. He wouldn't speak Northern Common. So he says something in Southern Common to you.
Just like I try to like make hand signals that I'm like I don't speak that.
He just kind of like looks defeated, like shrugs, says something more in Southern Common, just like.
You get out of my store.
Just grabs a shotgun and starts chasing.
Fuck
He
that.
points towards like a pile of leather and is like,
Yeah. I'm like, I'll just sort of like make like. I guess what I do? Like put my palm to my face to like cover my face, like, Huh? No, but like just like one hand, like, Well, I don't
You
have
don't have a face cam, so you can't show.
he just looks at you confused and is like, he grabs a piece of leather and just like hands it to you and is like,
Yeah, and I just like I kind of hold it in front of my face and like make holes where my eyes would be.
Make
Oh god.
what would that even be?
Athletics check, strength.
I guess general charisma check, which probably isn't gonna be fantastic, but
Not 16.
all right.
Plus whatever I have, which I don't believe is a lot. You say charisma?
Yeah.
Well, let's see.
All right, 16. He kind of looks at you as you're doing that. And let me roll to see if he understands it. All right. He looks for a while and then it's like,
He gets all excited.
and you see how he kind of like starts kind of drawing out some things on it, like
Yeah.
draws eye holes on
Yeah.
it, a bit of a thing for the mouth and some holes for the nose, and is like, huh?
Right.
Huh?
I just give him a thumbs up. Perfect.
Yeah, so he just kind of like, how would he gesture that? He gestures like,
1 hour.
well, he,
Well, I guess like I interpret it as like 1 hour. Right? It's like yeah. That's good.
and then just kind of takes the leather and starts getting to work on it.
Yeah. Oh my god.
So you leave and you come back an hour later,
Yeah.
and that seems to indeed be what he meant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he now has a
Yeah.
mask for you.
And he's like, Yeah.
He looks very enthusiastic.
Yeah.
It's this kind of like very plain leather mask, but it is kind of shaped sort of like a face-ish, so that you have some
Yeah.
space for the nose and stuff, and it uses like these straps to just kind
Right.
of keep it around the head.
Isn't
So-
that just perfect?
It's kind of like a hockey mask, but more like brown
Oh
leather.
yeah. Like Friday the 13th. Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. It's a brown leather Jason mask.
Nice.
Same, bro.
Yeah.
So
Well,
for all kinds of things, like murder, or if you're
More
into it in
murder.
the bedroom, I guess.
ooh,
Let's hope for murder. Let's hope for murder.
yeah. No, but yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
What a gesture payment. I just like kind of hold my pouch, just like point at it and like, huh?
Right, he kind of gestures for you to like pour some out on the table so he can like show you kind of.
He just grabbed it all. Well, I start with like, I guess like, what would I think this would cost?
Make an intelligence check.
Oh lord. Yeah.
Just general intelligence.
I don't believe that is amazing. A whopping 6.
Okay. Would you say that Fritz is more of a pay too much or pay way too little guy? Like,
Ooh.
being somebody who comes from extreme poverty, would he be more likely to think that everything is super expensive or that everything is...
I feel like he would think things are more than they are.
Yeah.
Since he's always been in the position of like, I can't afford.
Sure, so you're thinking, you're like, maybe a platinum?
Oh my god.
So like 10
Okay, well-
gold, I guess?
Okay, so whatever I think it is, I start by like half of it.
Okay.
Because like I don't want to just like, well, because like I don't want to give him just like a shit ton of money, and then it's like,
So like, you call it like a platinum, so you put out 5 gold.
yeah,
And he's like,
ecstatic.
Not for me.
And he takes that and he kind of shakes your hand and is like very, very happy about that.
So I guess it was like a silver or something.
You see the thumbs up.
Yeah.
And then
What's his name? No, I can't tell his name. What was the thing called? The place? Or just like well, the thing it is. The name you called.
Well, it's a tannery, I guess, or leather.
Tanner man.
Leather worker.
Character.
Let's go.
Leather man. Yes.
I think leather worker man.
Tanner the tanner.
Leather man.
Tan the tanner.
Tan the tanner.
And meet his kids, Tammy and Tommy.
Yeah, well, I I guess, what did he do? Shake my hand? Let's shake his hand. And just like, oh, yeah, thanks. And then I'll just make my way out.
Yep.
He thinks I'm like super rich or something. Like,
were you wearing your new clothes or not?
I mean, probably not the first time I got there. I probably would have changed until the second time, as I just kind of,
You come in wearing like ordinary peasant's clothes. Yeah. Place your order, then you come back wearing like a nobleman's doublet and some nice puffed up pants and stuff, and he seems impressed by that when you enter, and then you cash out 5 gold and like, wow.
What would it have cost?
I don't know. What would it?
Okay, let's make a Ludvig intelligence check. Oh, not 16. What would that be?
Probably maybe 20% of what you paid.
Well, hey, I've been slave long. I'm a generous man. I don't like to see people suffer.
Besides, like, leather workers don't earn that much in general, so you know.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't exactly have an excess of customers when I got there. So,
his tools looked a bit old and stuff. He's probably just scraping by on a day-to-day basis. Yeah. You made his week at least.
Yeah. Well, I do that, and then I start going towards the rang.
Right. Well, you would have probably had to make your purchase a bit earlier in the day rather than like right before midnight.
Well, yeah.
But eventually,
the later half of the working day, I guess.
Towards the evening.
Yeah.
But eventually you do realize that, the moon is rising and it's probably about time to head off to the ring.
Yeah.
So you make your way over there.
Mm-hmm.
Wearing your new fancy clothes and your serial killer mask.
My horrifying mask.
On your way there, you get some strange looks from people. But as you make your way and get ever closer, you kind of see some other people dressed like nobility wearing masks. Not quite as serial killery, more like colorful carnival masks.
But masks nonetheless.
Yes. As you arrive at the old abandoned temple, you do see quite a few nobles. Some are kind of standing outside just having some small talk. Others are in the process of heading inside. There are some guards as well that are posted by the entrance. You see that the temple's lit up, so these kind of shards of stained glass that are still semi-intact in the windows are kind of doing their thing, with the glow shining through. But most of them are nearly completely shattered, so it's not super fancy looking. But I guess you approach the entrance. Yeah, you see two of these Praetorian kind of guards, dressed like the Praetorian guards of the Arcanum. Mm-hmm. They stand there. They look at you. They're wearing helmets with visors, so you can't see their faces.
Right.
One of them says something in Southern Common at first, but as they realize that you don't speak Southern Common, one of them switches and speaks in Northern Common instead and says, "What's your name, sir?"
I guess I'll just give him my real name. Yeah. Fritz. Fritz Wiprecht.
Kind of looks at a list.
Because that's what I've been. That's what I said to the again.
Yeah. They wouldn't like shout that question out, so because your identity's meant
like,
to be,
look who's here! It's Fritz.
No, but they just kind of like nod and then step to the side so you can so you can walk in.
Yeah.
You see the stairs that go down, so you can go down into the ring itself, where you have already been once. Well, you've been at the stairs anyway.
Well,
never headed down, right?
Yeah, no, I didn't do that.
No.
I'll just casually stroll in and down the stairs.
Yep. As you go down, you see now how the big shelf with a bunch of alcohol bottles is gone.
Right. As Storm mentioned.
I don't know if Storm mentioned
that
it got smashed.
Actually no. But the whole...
you just kind of noticed that thing is gone, and that the kind of bar seems to be different. Like they got a new bar, and they now just have like barrels and crates filled with bottles instead of the actual shelf. It's not super packed yet, because I assume you don't go there like a minute before midnight, but that you're actually rather on time. So it's relatively sparse. Make a perception check just looking around down here.
That is a total of 14.
14?
Yeah.
Okay. Only really one person stands out in this crowd. It is a high elven man, made very clear by the fact that he wears a completely translucent stained glass carnival mask that only covers the area around his eyes. Of course, this is also a person that you recognize. This man is accompanied by two dwarven mercenaries, essentially, both of whom wear helmets with visors on, these kind of dwarven horned helmets. But he himself is one of the leaders at the Outcasts, who you would know as Karstein Glassmeyer Guas. He's currently talking to another man who wears a kind of plain black velvet mask, and wears mostly like black clothing and a bit of a cloak. But you see him, he's holding a glass of wine, that Glassmeyer Guas, that is. Seems slightly intoxicated already, despite the event having not even started yet. But yeah, that's the only person that would really like stand out from a first glance that you recognize as well.
Right. Well, I think I'm gonna keep a pretty low profile before the whole shebang starts.
Okay. Sure.
I think just kind of checking the place out, just like looking through. Well, I guess like go through the areas where I can be or something. Like how like what's the general? Because I assume we like when we watch the actual fights, is that like is that the same room or is it somewhere?
I mean, there's the pit in the floor where
right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
Okay,
and then there's the back room where Jaxson discovered the kind of changing rooms for. So there's kind of like one room in the back that connects to four separate sort of changing rooms for for people that are competing, most likely.
Okay, yeah, well, yeah, I'm just gonna mostly stay in the background a bit and just kind of see what's going on. Try to follow like the general flow of the whole thing happening.
Sure thing. Do you stay near the bar, or do you just kind of stay around the skirts of the room, or like the walls of the room, or do you want to stay more close to the center by the pit?
I'll be by the bar mostly.
Okay.
Is there like, can I order like right now something so it looks less weird that I just sit there?
Sure. Yeah, you go over to the bar. They don't have like bar stools. It's more of a bar that you can
like
stand
a leaning.
Like, you see the bartender wears a mask that appears to be made of metal. It's not a full mask, so it leaves like the mouth and under the nose kind of exposed.
Okay.
And there is kind of a symbol on the mask itself. It is like a sword facing downwards with a star-shaped crossguard. Very similar to the keyhole that you found in the temple upstairs.
Okay.
You see the let me just do this. You see the bartender underneath the mask. He seems to have a kind of lightly tanned skin, somewhere between the general complexion of a half elf or a high elf or a wood elf, and has some very dark brown, kind of wavy hair. He reminds you of the man that you met when you went to talk to the person in the house that gave you the invitation here.
Right.
And as he walks over to you, he there goes Leon. And there he's back. He looks at you and he says, he kind of looks you up and down a bit, and then with a bit of a smile from under the mask, just says, "Hello, I think we met before, haven't we? What can I do for you?"
I recognize his voice. Right?
Yeah, it sounds very familiar too.
Yeah. Like, yes, I would see if I could perhaps get some refreshments before the fights start.
Of course. Any preference?
You know what? Surprised me this time. I'm feeling a bit wild tonight.
Sure thing. Just give me a second then. Walks off.
Brings up
back.
some like super strong.
No, he just he comes back with a bottle of red wine, and let me just give me a second here to check this. I want to check the name of this. Kind of uncorks it. All the King's Ruby. What do you say?
Sure thing.
It's on the house.
Oh, thank you. Just like
slides it over.
Yeah. Fritz could just like feel the sweat start pushing out under the mask. Like, oh god.
Yeah, no, he just fills the glass, kind of, he doesn't fill it up properly, because that's not really what you do in these kind of situations. He just fills it enough.
Of course. Yes.
And then slides the glass over to you, gives you a bit of a nod, and then walks over to some other noble-looking person that has walked up to the bar.
Right.
You see standing quite close to you when you're here, you see on your left, so kind of like around the corner of the bar, you see a woman wearing a nice dress, who's wearing a mask that resembles a crescent moon. It has this kind of like bigger crescent moon that goes up, as if it's like horizontal,
Right.
over this kind of carnival style mask. She has this kind of long red hair, and she's talking to a man with a mask that looks like it's made of marble, that covers the entire face, almost like a statue.
Okay. Right.
See, he has this kind of short white blonde hair, and quite a light complexion, also dressed in very like fine clothing. And then on the other side, you look and you see two people wearing matching masks of gold. A man and a woman, both wearing relatively dark clothes, but very elegant as well.
Okay.
That are kind of just standing at the bar, just a few steps to the right. What do you do next? You have your glass of wine.
How long-ish, I guess, would it be till the game starts? I mean, let's say I was there. I don't know, when would like in time be? Like I said before.
Well,
Like
depends.
half
Like,
an hour.
would you want to be there half an hour early, or?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
so,
then I mean,
so by now, like 25
Yeah,
25
yeah.
minutes.
something like that. It's up to you if you want to do anything, or if you're just gonna kind of hang around.
Whenever I see the bartender, well, the dude I met before, like
Yep.
not be super occupied with something, I'm just gonna like wave him over a little bit and just kind of ask, just like generally about the fight
Right.
that's about to take place, like, so what are we what will we be seeing tonight?
Well, we have a relatively nice lineup, I would say. We will start with some of the less prestigious fighters, people that sought us out asking for a chance to prove themselves. Those don't tend to last very long. They're sloppy battles, not really anything too entertaining, but they're an appetizer for the later ones.
Just warming up the crowd.
The main fights begin when we have our invited guests, so to speak. And of course, the finale is with the Unavenged. Our champion, I suppose we could call him.
Sounds like quite the fighter, judging by his name.
You could say that. I wouldn't recommend watching if you're a bit squeamish. However, he is brutal. Quite brutal.
Right. No, blood and such is that's perfectly fine.
Good.
Well then, I guess we're up for quite some entertainment tonight then.
Yes. If you wish to see some of the fighters ahead of time, or maybe place some bets, you can either go and talk to some of them. They usually hang around in the back. It's not too common for people to go there to interact with the fighters. Most people here don't really care too much about them. Otherwise, you could just go and see if somebody's interested in making a bet. Of course, it needs to be made verified in order to be, shall we say, according to the policy. So if you find somebody to make a bet with, you need to seek me out to confirm the, I don't want to say legality of it, since all of this is kind of underground, but you get what I'm saying.
I do.
The ring and the
I
fighters
understand
get a
perfectly
cut,
fine.
is what I'm trying to say.
Right, of course. Well, I think I'll stay below today. believe I've overspent a bit today already, so
That is fair.
I don't want to try my luck, as it's usually not that good when it comes to money. So I think I'll sit this one out. But thanks for telling me where I can do that, if I so wish.
Well, we have about 20 minutes or so to just stroll around here before some of the first fights begin. I hope you enjoy yourself.
Thank you. Yeah.
You just wait, or
I'll finish. Well, I don't finish. Well, yeah, the glass. I finish up my glass, and then I just kind of go and like take a look at the pit.
Sure.
I think just kind of inspect what's going on there.
Yeah, you go and you kind of lean over the railing, just looking down. It's not too deep. It's about 10 feet. Has this kind of sand-covered ground. There are some like traces of blood stains down there. They're like, yeah, checks out. But most of it seems to have been cleaned up and like made more presentable.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it looks like kind of what I would expect from an underground fight club thing.
Yeah, pretty much. So anything else, or do you just wait?
No, I think I'm just gonna wait there.
Sure.
Until it starts.
Yep.
If I'll do something, I kind of want the crowd to already be a bit, into the fight, so I don't stick out too much.
Yeah. So as the ring area kind of fills up with more nobles, each wearing their own unique masks, eventually you, as only about 5 minutes or so remain until the battles are supposed to start, you notice how kind of goes a bit silent towards the entrance of this place, as there is quite a lot of whispering and talking going on throughout this place, but there's kind of like a silence that spreads from that area, people kind of directing their gazes towards the entrance. You can't really help but look as well, and you see kind of shoving his way through the crowd a tall man with two red glowing translucent arms. He seems kind of erratic in his movements, just looking around, the head almost like snapping in place in all the directions that he looks. You see that he wears a kind of half mask, looking more like a plain sort of almost just like a piece of cloth that has been tied around the head. Just kind of looks around, sort of searching the area almost. You see how he stops kind of near the pit in the middle, just scans through the crowds. Do you do anything, or do you just
I'll just act like with the rest of the crowd. just kind of going with the flow, trying to blend in.
Right.
I mean, I'll no sudden movements or such. I'm just keeping it low key still. I'm as I see it, I'm like, oh, that's probably the one stormed. But
yeah, I mean, it's not every day you see a man with glowing translucent arms that spark with red energy,
and who seem aggressive.
Yeah,
to say the least.
He kind of just stops by the center, right by the railing to the down to the pit. He stops there. He's not here. And then just leaps into the pit and heads through the tunnel that leads to the back area.
Wow.
See, there's a kind of deafening silence in the room as everybody's just
Yeah.
watching this tensely.
Right. I think I would be just as confused as everyone else, honestly, at this point.
But he disappears off through this little tunnel to the back area. That although you didn't see it yourself, Jaxson and Storm kind of have described it to you at some point. I would imagine what the layout of this place is.
Yeah.
But yeah, he just disappears there, and after a little while, people kind of start talking again.
Yeah.
A few more minutes pass by before eventually the bartender walks up to kind of the end of the ring or the pit opposite of the entrance, and he just kind of like excuse me, everybody, esteemed guests of the ring, and he just starts kind of presenting and welcoming everybody.
Yeah.
And he starts introducing some of the fights. You see, they actually don't come from the back area at first. There's some kind of peasant-looking people that are just let in from the main entrance, and then some of them choose to just vault into the pit. Some choose to like walk to the back and then through the tunnel into it. But the fighting essentially starts. As you were told, the first rounds are not very interesting. It's just regular people that are just punching each other for a little while until one falls to the ground unconscious.
Right.
But yeah, you can just kind of stand there and look at the fist fighting going on. Do you try to get like a front row kind of thing, or are you fine with just doing a bit of a back line sort of thing?
I mean, I would want to stand where I still see pretty much most of it,
Right.
but not necessarily front row. That's inaccessible.
Yeah.
I mean, Fritz is just kind of like, at this point he's just kind of like evaluating, if he were to enter, like, what's this gonna be all about,
Yeah. Like, so far, the ones that you see fighting in the first 3 or 4 rounds or so,
Yeah.
you're very sure that you could easily take
Yeah.
any of them on. Like, these are common people,
Yeah.
Nothing that would really even pose a challenge to you. You take them down in 2 or 3 hits probably.
Yeah.
Maybe 1 if it's particularly if you get a particularly good one.
Right.
But yeah, you just kind of hang back and watch that. Eventually, you see how some more prestigious fighters are essentially introduced.
Right.
The bartender kind of explains that there are 2 special rounds this day of their more prestigious fighters. In the first one, he introduces a person by the name of Glynis Prothero. And you see entering the arena is this halfling woman. Looks comedically small compared to pretty much everyone else that you've seen. You've just seen these like
Right.
burly kind of farmer looking types, and in comes this halfling woman with very lithe, skinny physique. Looks quite small even for her like about 3 foot tall stature. Wears what looks like practical commoner's clothes. Has kind of shoulder length light brown hair that is kind of half tied back. And she just smiles at the crowd, waves a little bit with a quite confident look on her face. And next he introduces a man by the name of Ermin Elmer. And you see a quite burly looking, possibly Thromeran man, human, with kind of short blonde hair, a bit of a beard, also wearing more of a peasant kind of clothing. Walks into the arena, maintains a kind of stern looking expression, just looks up towards the crowd a little bit, then looks down to Glynis, just gives her a bit of a nod. And then as the fight starts, you see how this halfling woman is extremely fast. She just kind of like dashes down, glides between his legs, almost swings up onto his back, and just like with a super precise punch just hits some sort of nerve that causes like his entire right arm to just like shut down. He just throws her back to the ground with his left arm, trying to shake his right arm to get it to function, but she just gets back into this very like defensive, prepared stance, almost like getting ready with a still smile on her face, just like challenging him. He charges, just like you see fury in the man's eyes as he just charges, trying to just kick her as he gets to her, but she once again just grabs his leg and swings around, this time almost taking him with her in the movement, just like throwing him to the ground. She seems to have absolute control of the situation, able to do things that you would have never anticipated somebody her size to be able to do, at least like fighting somebody who is comparable to your stature. Like the Ermin fella is your size pretty much.
Right.
She is less than half. There is an elegance to her fighting style, something that you haven't really seen before. It's these very advanced flowing motions that just flow into each other almost like in a very natural looking way.
Right.
She just uses everything that he does against him, essentially. And manages to at the end of the fight best him. He gets a couple of like hits and kicks in at her, but she's just too fast and too slippery in a way for him to ever like get a proper like face punch in, because he's fighting with in a very brutish way.
Right. Nothing point blank.
Yeah. So you know, she gets a bit of she takes a hit here and there, but she handles the situation quite expertly, and eventually she just like manages to, in the middle of a kick, jump up on his foot as it's going up, using the foot to kind of throw herself up in the air, and then does a complete 360 spin, kicking him straight in the face, so he just like falls back and lands unconscious on the ground. And she just lands almost slowly, like drifting back down to the ground.
That's a feisty woman.
And just puts like a foot up on him, folds her arms, just looks up to the crowd, smiling, wipes a little bit of blood from under her nose where he got like he managed to get like one hit in that caught her nose, but she just like shrugs it off, looks down on him, eventually takes her foot off, turns him around, just kind of like slaps his face around a bit, and is like, come on, like in that kind of way. And he does wake up, and she just like kind of gestures for him to get back up and not be such a baby. Then she just walks out. The man just kind of humiliated gets up. You know, people are cheering. You see some quite a lot of people seem to be in a defeated way handing gold over to to the people they probably
Right. Bet
placed
against,
bet with. Like there
yeah.
are 2 or 3 people that are cashing in a lot from several people that they seem to have made bets
Right.
with. Since most people seem to bet against her favor. But after they've cleared out of the arena, the next 2 fighters are brought in. This time, the people that are introduced, the first one is introduced as Florent De Rossier, a wood elven man, roughly around middle-aged, with kind of a longer-ish black hair, some light brown eyes, wearing this dark coat, and you see on his left hand he's wearing a single padded looking glove, whereas his right hand is not gloved. He looks to the crowd also with a bit of a smile, but not so much of a smile from like a lot of confidence that this halfling lady radiated, rather just like a welcoming, like, yes, here you go, I'm here, I'm gonna give you a show, that kind of like inviting
I have
smile.
arrived. Yeah.
Next, the bartender introduces another man called Isamu. And as he enters, you see, I'm unsure if you've seen any other lizard folk aside from Storm.
Probably not.
But you see a green lizard folk man. His scales are kind of matte-ish, but they're still very clearly dark green. He steps inside. He wears clothes that look foreign to you. You're not really very familiar with lizard folk or Jaxsonian culture or anything like that.
Yeah.
You just know that Storm is like somewhere from the Jaxsonian Empire-ish, so you can guess that this guy is too, or who knows. He is dressed in a way that is clearly not from the Dawn World, at least. It's it's from somewhere beyond that. And the 2 kind of like meet in the arena, they shake hands, and then they prepare to fight each other. Let me just get some of these notes real quick. Yeah, so this fight is way more even in a way, and it's not so much like extreme elegance versus complete brutishness. It's more of like an equally matched rough fighting style, but still with some sort of strategy to it. So it's some kind of middle ground. Both of them are kind of equally trying to use dodges and punches to the best of their abilities. The fight goes on for quite a while. Eventually, though, the wood elven man, Florent De Rossier, manages to land 1 punch too many onto the lizard folk man, so that he kind of staggers back, gets down to the ground, and just like basically taps out. He's like, okay, raises a hand.
Yield.
With a smile on his face, though. He kind of like gets down on the ground, like raises a defensive hand, is like, enough, kind of, in that way.
Yeah.
It's like, you win. Basically forfeits the battle. He extends his hand and pulls the lizard folk man up, and they just kind of like shake hands. Neither one seeming to harbor any ill will towards the other. It's a very formal way.
Right.
They both roughed each other up significantly as well, so it was a very clutch battle that really came down to 1 punch or 2. And it could have gone in either one of their favors. This time, it doesn't seem like there was any clear favorites among the like betting going on. So you see pretty much like the expected amount of people in an even fight handing over gold to whoever they lost to. There's like one person that seems to have lost like on both of these fights that is just like storming out at this point. It's like basically yelling as he just makes his way through the crowd, not managing to shove his way through the crowd like the man with the red arms, but
Of course.
he's just like, get out of my way, that kind of like frantic, entitled noble kind of way. After that fight, however, you see the bartender getting in front of the crowd one more time, and just says that essentially the Unavenged is coming up next, and that he is going to be fighting some of the fighters that have proven themselves through the kind of introductory fights in previous during previous ring events, that are willing to take him on, and you see the crowd kind of gets a bit nervous almost that as he's about to enter.
Fritz, he feels himself like, I don't know about this. Like, I mean, I've fought a worm, but this,
right.
This is quite something.
But yeah, you see one of these kind of street fighter looking fellas entering the arena from the tunnel, kind of similar to some of the people in the beginning, but this guy looks significantly more like a bit stronger, a bit more well trained and experienced. But you see the door to the back room just swings open to the point where the hinges almost give in, and this unavenged man steps in again, just shoving his way through the crowds, but people quickly start to part way, almost it's just a sea of people pushing themselves out of his way so that neither one of them experiences his wrath. He just leaps over the railing before the bartender can even properly introduce the battle or start it off. He just goes straight in for a punch. The opponent of him just kind of dodges the first one, but in a second punch he just catches him. He goes flying across this entire pit in the ground, just hitting the rock side. You see instantly how there's bleeding. He seems completely disoriented. The Unavenged steps up, just grabs him by the throat, again just throws him across it so that he hits the other side. At this point he's already out of it. You see then how he just approaches again. This time the fighter just kind of tries to lift an arm in his defense, but the Unavenged just grabs that arm that is raised and rips it clean off at the joint and just tosses it away. It almost goes up flying to the crowd, and some people are yelling and just backing off. You see several people that are a bit too squeamish for this that are turning away and walking away from this. But he just grabs this man by the throat again, lifts him up, the arm or whatever remains of it now just bleeding down into the sand, and he grabs the neck with both of his hands and just squeezes until it's completely crushed. And the head just hangs, and he grabs it with one hand, rips it off, and just throws it up so that it goes flying into the crowd, people just jumping back from it. And with the rest of the body, you realize that this is not really how it's supposed to go, by the way, since some of the guards in this place are now basically running up, kind of making their way through the crowds, realizing what is happening, and they also jump into the arena, and just with their weapons pointed at him, or just hey, just trying to stop him. He looks at them. You see for a moment, still holding the rest of this dead man's body, he just looks towards the guards, and you think for a moment that he's about to pounce at them and start tearing into them as well. But he looks around, looks up towards the crowd, just throws the body down on the floor. Just kind of he lets out what sounds like an animalistic roar, kind of, and then just starts making his way back into the tunnel. You see, like, people were not really expecting this kind of violence.
Yeah, I can imagine.
You see the bartender essentially just getting up and saying, like, well, I believe we will be forced to cancel our next couple of fights. This is unfortunate. Please, if you have any business to wrap up, do so now. Otherwise, this event has been concluded. We will get in touch with invitations for the next one soon as usual. And he seems to get into more of a like formal type of ending to the closing out the event essentially. And people are already making their way out of this. And they're like not having it. They don't really want to stay here any longer than necessary. See some of the guards kind of starting to clean up the mess, so to speak.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you want to do anything, or?
I go up to the bartender again, because I mean,
Right.
I guess the rest are just kind of making their way out.
He seems to be
And,
quite busy with people that are like yelling at him for various reasons, and he seems to kind of calm down. This would, like, the introductions and things, he would take it in both like northern and southern common, whereas this is more like just local nobility screaming at him, pretty much.
Okay.
So he seems to be very busy and not really able to properly respond. Unless you want to wait. It's up to you.
Does there seem to be anyone else around that's kind of like... I mean, not... I mean, most people seem pretty distressed, I guess.
You could say that.
And but is there like some people that look, you know, like whispering in the background, like, you know, like there could be something shady about these people.
I mean, there's something shady about most people here, to be
quite
quite honest. I mean, there are definitely some people that are still kind of going about their what almost seems to be like business things.
Right.
But yeah, it's really just like people that are more like closer to the walls, just having their little conversations still, but seeming to be like wrapping it up.
And I don't Fritz really knows what to do. Like after this, that was yeah. I'm very curious about where like he's not here. Like who this he is. Because it didn't say it isn't here, which is the mask. If that's the thing. So because that's what I want to ask the bartender dude about, if he has any clue what that could possibly be.
Well, you could just wait for a while.
Yeah, I think I will. I mean, it would be pretty random to just walk up to anyone else like, "Hey, man, this guy before the fight, he was like, man, where is he?" And they're like, "Do you know what that could be about?" And no, I'm gonna try to like kind of wait the chaos out, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, is the... God, I already forgot his name. Like the unavenged,
The unavenged is what they call them.
unavenged. Yeah, I guess he's long gone by now. Like he
Yeah,
just
I mean, he
went
headed
his
back
whole-
into the back room.
Yeah,
Through the tunnel from the pit.
right.
But yeah,
Yeah,
you kind of get in line, waiting for some of the angry people to to clear out.
Yeah,
And once it's your turn, he seems to be kind of like a bit tired, but he looks at you.
yeah,
Right. Hello.
right. Yeah, you weren't lying when you said this might be a little out of the ordinary.
This was out of the ordinary for being out of the ordinary, to be quite honest. I cannot say that I was expecting this. This is not usually how things go, and I would like you to know that.
I expected as such, judging by people's reaction here.
Right. You see, to be quite frank, we've had a bit of a situation here recently. There was a break-in the other day that seems to have set him off a bit, the Unavenged.
Right, yeah, I saw him come barging in here just before the fight. I guess that's not typically what fighters do.
He does come a bit late sometimes, and then he isn't exactly the most gentle about making his way through, but this was everything about what he did here was out of the ordinary, I will say that much. We have been working with him for quite a while now, but never have we seen this much of a tantrum being thrown by him, if that is what you want to call this.
Right.
I hope you're not too scared away from this place.
Oh no, that's I've seen worse. That's perfectly fine.
Well, I would say that I'm glad, but after this, I'm not sure if I'm very happy for you that you have seen worse. Though I suppose the arena can be quite gruesome sometimes if you visited.
Unfortunately, I've had some encounters before that as well. But yes, the arena is not always too pretty. I was just wondering though, when he came barging in here before, he mentioned he's not here. That seemed strange. I don't know. But would you maybe know who that could be or what it could mean?
No, I'm not quite certain what that was about. I would assume it has something to do with the recent events that set him off like this, but I am not certain who this individual is that he is referring to.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, that's none of my business. I just thought it was, strange considering how the night turned out.
Yes.
But,
of course, we will be investigating this for certain.
Right. Well, I'll give the whole fighting option. I'll give it some thought.
Right. Yes.
But if I could still spectate, I would very much like to do so.
I will notify you that in the future if you wish to spectate, as you are still invited. However, in future situations you will need to pay the regular fee of 250 gold for entry, unless of course you wish to compete, in which case entry is free of charge since you are a contestant.
Of course. Yes. Yeah, and it could possibly bring other people, right? If, of course,
if they pay the fee. Try to keep it a small number of individuals.
Don't worry, I won't bring tens of them. I have a few in mind that perhaps might be interested in coming here.
If you wish information about the event, since, as far as I understand, regular addresses are not always something that is being used by everyone that attends. Simply do contact me where you and I had a meeting last time.
Of course.
And you will get information about whenever we have scheduled another event.
Yes, sounds good. I will then.
Right.
I believe I will make my way home now.
Yes. Do go ahead.
Yes, but I will be in touch either way. So
Excellent. I look forward to speaking again.
yes. So until next time.
Until next time.
And then I kind of head out.
Sure. I think that's a good place to take a break.
Yes.
Simon seems to have left.
Twice.
So, yeah.
Assume it's a toilet break.
I only left once, okay?
This, yeah. Well, we'll see if he's back by the time the break is over. Oh, there he is. Well,
Oh, he's just taking some snacks.
Simon, you missed
Break.
everything. We're going for a break now.
Hey, great. Let's go for a break.
All right. Well, we'll be right back.
Yes.
See you soon.
See ya.
There you go.
Here we go.
Oh, is that why the stream was red?
Yeah, I picked the wrong the wrong thing on OBS to the old camera setup when we're all in person, and the background is missing and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, sorry about that, but that will be edited out in the YouTube version, so you will know nothing if you're watching this on YouTube. Hello and welcome back. When we started this break, Fritz had just made his way out of the ring where he had witnessed some brutal murder, so to speak.
Yeah.
And assuming that nobody else wants to do anything this night, except that Fritz, you make your way back, I'd imagine, back home, so to speak. But other than that, we're just gonna fast forward to the next day. Dara, you wake up first. Everything according to routine, or?
Yeah. I'll just wait out. There's nothing yet to do.
Sure. Fritz, how about you? Same thing?
Yeah.
So,
Storm. Okay, do you even meet up with each other, or do you just
But we're supposed to have that daily morning meeting. Duh.
Sure.
but that's right.
It's the co-workers meeting.
Mm-hmm.
While you
Oh,
meet
it is-
up, do you want to talk about anything particular, or do you just want to do a fast forward, pretty much?
Fast forward.
Okay.
I ain't got nothing, so I can always take a status check on Arisa, but she's probably
Shut
gonna
the
say,
flip up.
Yeah, Arisa still says that, oh yeah, she's making progress, she's talking to people, and she's pretty sure that she's almost convinced them to let her go at this point. You know,
Of
it's
course.
one more day or so and she'll be a free woman with no criminal record, still keeping that completely clean.
Of course.
so the poster's saying, the killing of Arisa, public execution, tomorrow night, bloodiest execution ever.
Again, as Florp is leaving, you hear one of the guards kind of like, should we just go in there and just stab her?
Oh my
You know,
god.
just be rid of her. It would be, mate, it would be so much easier. We could just, okay. I mean, we could skip the paper. Well, you do the paperwork. But yeah. Storm, I assume you want to go to one of the gates again. Is that correct? Or have you given up? Storm?
No, let's just go to fucking gate.
Which one? You've done north and you've done east. You have north,
South.
east, south, east, and south. So you do south this time.
Yeah.
Okay. You spend the day at the
North.
southern gate. The rest of you, anything you want to do during the day? Otherwise, we'll just fast forward the whole and basically skip the whole day.
Yeah.
Just being happy knowing that we're gonna get some cash.
Well, Storm, make a perception check.
Let's do that. Luck. 22.
You must have some bad luck. There's no fun in here either.
Yeah.
3 gates down, 2 to go, and 1 day left.
50-50. More nothing.
Either that or you missed it or he just wasn't there when you were at the right gate. Yeah. In that case, if nobody does anything, we move on to the next day.
Yeah.
Actually, what is everybody's passive perception? I just want to know.
11 or something.
Is this relevant to sunlight, or should I just?
No, just what is your actual passive perception?
All right.
So 11, 12,
15.
15, and Storm, yours is like 21 or something. 20, 21.
21.
Okay.
That's a lot of 21.
Alright. Yep. Just wanted to know. Yeah, the next day comes, you do your standard things. Dara, you check in with Arisa, I'd assume. He's like, yeah, I'm getting out today, don't worry. And Storm.
What gates are remaining?
Northeast and southeast.
Northeast.
Northeast.
Flip a
or
coin.
south?
Flip a coin. Flip a coin. Flip a coin.
Yeah, I got it. It's pretty much stuff around here. I can't find my coin. Wait a sec. Yo, coin. There we go. Okay, head south, tails north. South.
Southeast.
Go to the southeastern gate. Okay.
Yup.
Does anyone want to do anything this day? Otherwise, we will skip to the end again.
No.
Let's skip it forward just to see.
Yeah.
Okay. Make your perception check.
Yeah, let's do it. Luck. 21.
21.
Yep.
Alright. So you sit there, kind of waiting, watching. You've done this way too much at this point. You're just so tired of it. You're looking there. I don't know if you wanted to bring some more food or stuff, but yeah. Also, by the way, while this is happening, the people, the two of you that are staying at the Nocturnal Nymph, you gotta pay for a couple more nights. I think it's like 3 more nights.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I forgot about that one, but I'm gonna do that. How much for
I think
3
it's
days?
8 for you
I got
per night
10.
and 10 for Jaxson.
So I'm a rich boy.
But yeah, Storm, you sit there, kind of snacking on some more of your food. I'd say you've probably spent like an additional like gold or so throughout these days. Maybe 2 if you were getting a bit gluttonous. You're sitting there, you're watching the carriages go in and out of the city. Just kind of completely given up. Like, you probably don't have very high hopes at this point. But you're keeping an eye out for some red-haired man on a carriage to drive through.
With an elven passenger.
Yeah. And as the day turns to evening, and evening turns to night, you realize that he's not going to come.
God. Bro,
You knew it. It was just a bait.
the build up, man.
It's always nice with some good ass bait.
I had to bait it, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, either you were super unlucky and it is the one gate you didn't check, or you have missed him somehow.
Yeah. Yep. Rip.
Sad.
So, you sit there, it's getting kind of late, and you're like, oh yeah, tomorrow is the day we're leaving.
And Storm owes us gold.
Not yet, though.
You head back and just sleep off the night. Yep.
Nothing.
Alright.
He goes, cries himself to sleep.
Well, in that case, the next day rolls around. It comes around, or whatever you say. It is now the 21st.
Woo!
Ooh,
Yeah.
the day of departure.
Yep. Dara, you wake up first. Anything you want to do on this this day? It's quite good weather outside when you look. It's quite warm and sunny, especially considering that it's fall.
Yeah. It's not very cold where we're going, right? It's not
No,
like
we're going down.
You're going south, so if anything, it should be a degree or two warmer.
I get it.
Yeah, that's
So
correct.
get the swimsuit out. Gotcha.
I mean, you're gonna be on a ship for a little while, so you could, I guess, take a bath in the ocean. Risking, of course, that the ship just leaves you behind, but you know.
Yeah, given the fact that tanning seems like a bad idea for Drow, I'm not gonna do any of that.
Okay. So you just kind of wait. Fritz, do you go for a final subway run or?
Yeah, final morning subway.
Yep.
I really have to look up Subway's menu after this and like craft what that sandwich would be.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't have an idea yet what it is. I need to figure that out.
By the way, are you gonna tell your major anything?
Oh yeah. I'll do the standard debrief.
Yep. You
So
tell them
yeah,
about,
I'm leaving today.
I could just see Fritz just like 2 days later, just like in bed, comfortable, like that legs on the stool crossed, like, oh yeah, by the way, the thing.
Okay, so what do you tell Major Maltz?
No. I tell him about the ring place.
Right.
Well, where it is. I mean, I guess I already did.
Yeah.
Technically, yeah. The unavenged might be something. And the whole he. Who that is? Who the one who wasn't there that he seemed to be looking for. I mean, otherwise, there isn't really that much to tell, is it? Except that, I mean, it's kind of shady in general. But,
Right.
I don't think they're gonna have like a riot exactly, just like FBI open up like on the fight. So
I mean, this doesn't really concern them. This is not the kind of law stuff they would be dealing with anyway.
that would be a fun session though. Just like nighttide riot.
SWAT team.
Yes,
just,
it's SWAT. For Fritz leading the church. Yeah, hell yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't be too inconceivable to see something like that happen.
I reckon Fritz is pretty good at busting down doors.
Fritz and Clarice riding on horses, leading the church. It's like the good old days.
Major Women sitting behind a desk smoking a cigar.
Major women, guns blazing. Yeah, no, I'll just tell them.
Yeah, the major is of course also going to ask what you're planning to do next.
Well, the whole fighting isn't super. I'm not. Yeah, I don't know if I'll fight, but I think I will go back at least one more time as a spectator. Unsure if I'll tell the other ones about it, but we'll see.
Well, do you have any more leads then? Anything else?
Not really. Well, today the co-workers are going to the... I can't remember the name of the place.
And Arisa.
Karen Solos.
Yeah. Terran Solos.
Karen.
Karen Solos.
Karen Solos.
Yeah, we're heading off for Karen Solos to do some digging for this Benedict Blaze. I don't know what that will if that will bear any fruit, but aside from that, not really. I think the ring might be the best source right now.
Karen Solos is quite far away. When can I expect you to be back?
The trip, what was that, like 2 weeks? A week? No, what was the trip?
Don't forget, we got Fritz with us, and he automatically makes things move
And
faster.
it's,
Yeah, I'll make the boat move faster by an elf.
They're standing on it.
it's probably like a week of a trip-ish, depending on a lot of different things, but by your estimates, it's probably around a week, maybe a day.
Right. So the whole thing would be like roughly 3 weeks.
Depending on how long
maybe.
you stay there and stuff.
Yeah. Well, the week there, the traveling takes about a week, so I suppose 3 weeks would be a rough time estimate,
Very well.
which I realize is long, but well, we'll see what we can find there. I try to still not stay outside the group too much, so they'll become all searching for me and all suspicious of what I'm doing here. Now it sounds like I'm doing really shady stuff in
Yeah.
the night. I'm not, but
Fritz the Shady.
And I assume I can expect you to then continue your lead on Kessler.
of course, sir. First thing when I come back, I'll make my way back into the ring and see what I can pick up there.
Very well. I'll grant you this leave.
Thank you, sir.
But don't take more than 3 weeks.
No, you're in danger.
Of course.
Alright. You're dismissed.
I salute and leave.
Just as a quick question, did we count for the fact that Storm might want to get to that that cleric with that eye thingy?
And we need to get to Vanderfall.
Well, we don't need to do that at the same time. We can do
I mean,
that.
it's quick. It's a better
That's
way.
quicker.
I mean, the way back benefit us, I believe.
I don't know. How about way back? Maybe not.
We can just teleport.
Well, you'll have a bit of time to decide on exactly how you want to go about all this. So, yeah.
So when do we want to beat up Kessler? Yeah, we do that tomorrow. We got like these 3 things now.
Storm and Jaxson, you're next to wake up. Do you just wait for your daily meeting at the knock, or?
Yeah. After that, I will just. Oh yeah, right. Never mind. No, I'll just wait.
Sure. Alright. So eventually, all 4 of you meet up at the knock. You're there. It's still around probably 8-9-ish a.m., so you have a few hours left until you're supposed to be at the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Well, are we? Well, Storm, you're the one who knows a lot about ships. Do you know what things are we supposed to carry with us?
supposed to be the captain, though. Hey, we're supposed to have rum, fishing rod. I'm gonna go buy that.
Right, I should buy that too.
Yes. What's wild now? A
Look, maybe.
kikare.
Binocular.
Binocular.
Oh,
Yeah. Those 3 key things.
well, I suppose.
I think I might go to a bathhouse before, so I at least get myself clean before we head out.
Yeah, I get the feeling that we're not gonna get clean for a long while on that ship.
Yes, quite disgusting.
Storm, how often do pirates... Storm, do pirates ever bathe?
Feel like it in the ocean, right? Depends. So, some might stink, some might not. Who cares when you get rich? Am I right?
No.
I would still care about how I smelled.
Jackson's like,
Of course, because you will. Never mind. You will change, hopefully. We'll see when you've been at the sea for a while.
Oh, yeah, of
Well-
course.
You go to a bathhouse, and then we'll see you at the ship.
Indeed. Wait,
Nine
what
or
was-
something, right?
Which ship were we going to?
Let's see what we...
You know,
Too many servers in this freaking Discord, man.
We're going to the Brine of Mare. If
Brian.
Here, I found
Find
it.
it.
I'm Brian.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I just needed to make sure because I have 2 ships I have written down in my... So I was like, oh, which
Yeah.
ship?
Yeah. Well, I guess I will see you guys at the ship.
Indeed. I go for a fishing rod.
I go for bathhouse.
Okay, Dara, do you go for bathhouse
will-
or?
Well, I'll just check in on Arisa and see, okay, are you getting released now or do I have to break you out?
Yeah, she's just like, oh yeah, they're just about to get me out.
No, like yesterday.
Deception, inside check on that.
Sure.
She could just be naive and think she's going to get out, but...
Yes, you can believe it.
Oh yeah, right. Do I use...
You
do
might
I
not
use...
believe your wife.
Some trust issues.
Yeah, you see, it's going down.
Now the big question is, do I use Florp stats or do I use my own stats for this?
I mean, your own, assuming you're looking through him and not letting him determine it.
Yeah.
It's like Florp has his own ideas. Like, I don't. This cap.
I mean, he does have proficiency in insight.
Well, you know,
Arisa
you.
16.
16. I mean, she seems to believe it at least.
Alright. Well, if she believes it, I believe it.
I mean, that's so good to hear, though. That she believes it and not no. Yeah.
Well, yeah, the bathhouse seemed like a good idea. Well,
Yeah.
although I could clean myself with prestidigitation, I think.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, but I'm gonna do it fine this time, and then later on we can go for the prestidigitation option.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, do you go separately, like, since Jaxson is probably on his way already, or?
Yeah, I would have done that when he was leaving, so I just okay, Florp, get over there. So I would arrive a little bit later.
Right. Fritz, what do you want to do?
How much time did you say we have?
Like 3 hours ish.
I want to go to the dude who I talked with about the ring.
All right. Yeah. Maxim.
Maxim. That's right.
Sure.
I want to go to him.
Yep.
And just kind of be like, "Hey, Baba, I'm gonna be away for like 3 weeks, but do you know of any?" Well, I mean, so obviously I won't be able to attend any games
All right.
during
Well,
this
you
period.
go
but
there.
if there is after,
we'll take this properly. So you go there. You knock on
Yeah.
the door. He comes and opens, and I'm like, "Oh, welcome in. I once again would like to apologize on the ring's behalf for
oh no, that's
the chaotic nature of last night's event. It's not supposed to go that way, as I explained it. But
I
yes,
understand. That's perfectly fine. I really only came here because today I will be heading out on a field trip, so to speak. I forgot to mention that last time, so I quite frankly almost forgot it so myself.
perfectly understandable.
So for the next 3 weeks, roughly, I am away.
Right. Obviously,
And,
by the way, he wouldn't say last night because it's been several days since at this point.
Yeah.
My bad.
Well, yeah. The
Just want to correct myself.
last time, yeah. So I was well, again, mainly here to say that, and to also want to see if I don't know how far ahead you plan, you people, but if you know of any games shortly after this 3-week period.
There are always plans, but it is difficult to say this far ahead, considering that we need to make sure that we have fighters available. Usually an event isn't perfectly set in stone until about a week before it is planned to happen. Those that have noticed regularly get the notices about a week in advance. Otherwise, it is something that you will find out when you visit next time.
Of course.
I am not certain is my short answer.
Of course. Well, I thought maybe I could, since I no longer have my free trial on the whole spectator, that perhaps I could give you a payment in advance now and come watch whenever the first show,
Surely.
when I come back. Yes.
I will make sure that it's noted that you have already paid for one free ticket for whatever event you choose to decide or choose to attend next.
Perfect. Yes, and once again, perhaps I'll bring other people, but of course they will pay
Right.
when
yes.
that time comes. But I will leave my payment immediately, so you have some insurances. I will come back.
Excellent. It is, I want to say, unnecessary for you to do so, but I will accept it.
Oh, of course. I just I feel more comfortable myself doing so, quite frankly, as I
Perfectly fine.
tend to be somewhat tend to forget things sometimes. And
Is there any way you would like to be notified of the next event? From the way I understand it, you don't have a permanent residency here in the city. Is that correct?
not quite. No. How, if you don't mind me asking, did you find me? Did you reach out to me last time? Well, how are you? I mean, of course.
Well,
it's
you were given the
only
letter.
thing,
That
but-
is.
Well, yeah, but how the letter was sent to me specifically? How you?
Well, let's just say that.
aside from the arena,
It was all
the whole
about
thing.
the arena. We have our scouting talents in places.
Right.
People that look for promising fighters. And you manage to catch their attention. So,
Right.
it's as simple as that.
The market where I get my subway, does that have a name? Because I mean, I usually go to like just the same place.
It's
Or
just
just like
kind of general
market.
market stalls around the garden district. It's not
Right.
really anything. I mean, there would probably be a name, but I can't think of something right now. So, you can just
Right, but I'll just say, just be there in the morning hours, and I'll probably be there. Or just
Right.
yeah.
And how long did you say that this journey was going to take before you're back here? Estimates.
I estimate about 3 weeks. Hopefully, if everything goes according to plan. But 3 weeks.
All right. I will make sure I send somebody to the agreed upon location in about 3 weeks, then, to hand you an invitation in the case that you are back.
Thank you. That is much appreciated.
Well, if that is all, then I wish you the best of luck on your adventures.
Thank you. And we grow fist, and I hit him.
You extend your fist and he kind of looks at it curiously. Doesn't quite seem
Yeah.
to understand. He just kind of points and.
Oh, I've heard it's more hygienic to, just like bump
nice.
your fists
He
rather
just
than
kind of like
shit.
yeah, he hesitantly does that, and
Yeah.
looks a bit confused. Kind of looks down at his own hand. Right. We'll leave it at that then. And then he kind of escorts you out and basically takes his farewell.
Yes.
Um,
Aside from that, not much.
sure.
I guess I'll notify my superior that hey, I pre-ordered a ticket here, so
Sure.
I will come back. Trust
Yep.
me, sir. Please.
Yeah, he thinks that's a good thing, I suppose. Yeah. Okay, so Jaxson and Dara, you get to the bathhouse at slightly different times. The entry fee is assuming. Well, I'll ask Jaxson. Do you want to go to the finest bathhouse in the city? Okay, it's
course.
gonna be a gold for the entry.
Yeah.
For Dara, do you do the same, or do you just go to a random
I'll go for
Normal one.
cheaper.
Okay, so you pay a silver.
Ah, nice. I will try to see how much silver I have.
Jaxson, you get to this super pretty building with these arches of marble and their paintings on the walls around these warm, kind of magically heated, little almost jacuzzis.
This is perfect.
They're all over the place. Whereas Dara, you get an average, normal kind of bathhouse.
Nice.
All right. So some time goes by. Storm. By the way, you find your fishing rod, and what else was it? Were you looking for something else?
Binoculars, right?
Oh yeah, a looking
Fishing
glass.
Fishing rod.
Yeah, a
And
fishing rod. Well, that was the one thing I didn't remember.
Yeah.
And don't forget.
Nothing else.
Or you said.
Well, you said
rum.
binoculars.
Rum.
No, we said it was good to have binoculars. We never said he was.
Yeah, and some
Okay,
rum bottles.
That's
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay.
Gonna
well,
make sure.
I'm gonna buy a fishing rod later.
a
As well.
fishing rod costs probably a copper.
so
Okay, let's buy a binocular as well.
But what if they want the common magic item, a pole of angling, Jacob?
Well,
Oh my lord.
Oh, Jesus.
Wait, let it go. Let the snooze go. You're going to die.
You're gonna blow up your brain if you keep
Let it rip.
I did let it rip.
Rip
The
it,
first
rip
one was
it.
just weird.
Hold your eyes open when you
You
sneeze.
didn't let it rip.
it there.
I had my eyes open.
okay, so that's a bit unexpected. You go to get a looking glass, binoculars,
Oh,
or
there
like
we go.
one
Yeah,
a
looking glass.
looking glass. It costs 1,000 gold.
Oh, wee.
Yeesh.
Repeat that again. 1,000. Yeah, I bounce. Fishing rod then?
It's in the dude. I looked it up. I know that it's an item in the player's handbooks. I looked it up, and it's 1,000 gold pieces. A magnifying glass, like a little detective thing, is 100 gold. It's crazy expensive.
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, it's technology. I guess you need the lenses. They're technically crystals, right?
Yeah.
So,
They're lenses at least, so.
I mean, I think they're usually, at least at this time, they're probably made using some sort of crystals.
Buy me dinner first. Come on, dude. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's 1,000 gold pieces. If
Yeah,
you want
fishing
a
rod.
looking
How about
glass.
that?
Or a spyglass, as they call it here. A fishing rod should be like 1 copper.
Well, I want a fancy ass fishing rod,
Sure,
man.
a silver.
The finest sound has
Okay, you find an imported bamboo fishing rod from Drexonia. It's 5
How much?
silver.
I want a fancy.
You find a golden one for 1,000 gold.
Okay, wait. Take it back.
Well, if you buy the fishing tackle, you can find it. At least there's a fishing tackle in there.
What is that?
Fancy one, not a super.
Yeah, okay, sure. Yeah, you find a kit, a fishing kit for a gold. It's literally 100 times the price of the cheapest fishing rod out there, and you're not satisfied.
I'll take the fishing kit. I'll take out the fishing rod in the fishing kit and pipe back the bamboo one. And I have the bamboo draconian as well.
Sure.
Perfect. What does that set me back?
A gold and a half.
Well, I took out.
Well,
the
yeah,
fishing-
they're sold at different places. It's not a fishing store.
Ah. Okay. Well then. I assume they have change.
Sure.
Good.
Oh my god.
When the campaign is suddenly about buying fishing rods.
I've never seen
a fancier one.
I've never seen a storm so hell bent on getting something more expensive and like
Take
better. Spend
Okay.
more.
yeah. What
Then I
is this
go to
cheap
Dungeons
crap?
and Elf,
Okay,
buy 2 bottles of rum.
right.
Then I go to some other place that serves rum.
Okay,
Buy their rum.
sure,
Then I go to another place and buy their rum.
sure.
What does that come
All
to?
of it.
Like 6 bottles.
6 bottles. Let's just say a gold. Just make
Boom,
it
perfect.
even. You just throw some money at them and they just give you the bottles. You don't count properly. It's a golden total.
I want the my.
Is there someone with a fishing rod in the background? Because I hear like
Oh, that sounded like a fishing rod. that does
that
sound
sounds-
like a fishing rod.
And
Yeah.
then I go dig after worm. No, no, the fishing.
Dig up.
Yeah, then we head to the docks.
Right. Yep. So you all meet up eventually, or
I-
Jaxson.
I was going to buy a fishing rod and like a book or so.
Sure.
Yeah.
You find a golden fishing rod for 1,000 gold.
I take it. No, no.
I thought you wanted the fancy stuff.
You want to buy an
Yeah.
ordinary fishing kit for 1 gold?
I will just take the one for 1 silver.
Okay, sure.
And then, like, a golden book that I haven't read.
I mean, you've read most of them probably at
Yeah,
some
so
point in
what-
your youth.
Like, the one that I haven't read.
Golden the first or Golden the third?
Doesn't really matter.
Well, I have 2 different lists of books, okay? Pick
The
one.
third.
First.
First! Oldest
Third.
book, better.
Actually, yeah, you know, we'll do this one. You find a play about Alacrin the Storm Challenger. Because it seems to be about the sea and the ocean and stuff.
What did you call it, you say?
Alacrin the Storm Challenger.
Alacrin the Storm.
Wait, what was the other book? That was about something else.
Yeah, then I'm happy I will go to the docks.
Nice.
The other book that was about something else. How very descriptive of you.
Dara bought the book as well.
Yeah, Vortigorn the Alder King, and the other one was about Queen Callow and Dromi.
Alder King, the sword we were gonna get, Alder King sword. Ah, rest in peace.
I forgot about that.
Storm is now thinking, if we read that book, we can get all the information about the Alder King's sword. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you do eventually meet up though, in the port district.
Yep.
You go and you locate the ship. The Brain of Mare. It is what would be considered a sailing ship, so it's relatively sizable. Not huge, but definitely a decent sized ship. Probably quite fast though, like it's, you know, sometimes these really big ships are almost slowed down by their own size, whereas this one is probably able to sail very quickly. Storm, you'd be able to make that judgment.
Was it a cannon?
Is it like a frigate type?
What is
guess
who's
maybe.
that shit? What they do?
As for weapon, no, I answered the frigate question.
Oh.
I'm not very good with ship classifications. It's smaller than a galley. I'll say that much. It is roughly 100 feet long, if that's relevant. It's armed. It doesn't have cannons. Cannons are not a big thing.
They have that.
What?
What do they have?
They're
Then?
like ballistas.
How many ballistas do you have? Well, on deck?
Yeah. One
Holy
in the front.
Oh, like you're fucking hunting whales, or like
It's no weapon. You know, a ballista can do a lot of damage, okay? You siege castles with ballistas.
arrows.
Well, arrows the size of a person,
Yeah, exactly. Good. Yeah, that was my question.
It's like a crossbow that shoots.
Yes, I know.
And it technically has.
I thought of a ballista. But I thought of the one that had a rope in it, so you could like
like a harpoon.
Yeah, harpoon.
No.
I mean, like,
also
Bernie
has-
Sanders died by a ballista, and Fritz too.
Huh?
It has
Yeah.
a mangonel as well, which is a form of catapult thingy.
Where?
Also on deck, but further back. Not in the far back, not like up where the captain stands, but like down the stairs to that like platform.
Okay.
You can check the images on D&D Beyond if you're interested.
Let's go.
But yeah, you see that on deck you can see Benedict Blaze and his servant Cephalus are both standing and they're talking to somebody. Do you walk on board?
Walk
Yeah,
the
we walk.
plank.
find.
What? Is the ballista arrows close? Do you see? Is it loaded?
Yeah, it's loaded, sure.
Nice.
But the safety is
Any
on.
place can be penetrated. Whoa! No. The safety lock is on our kids' lock. Storm not gonna get through it.
You see him kind of looking at, like he's facing away from you and doesn't seem to notice you. But the man he's talking with, a high elven man, probably in his late 200s ish, with a very like weathered sailor's face, some deep blue eyes, and tied back gray hair that is kind of cut short on the sides. Who's wearing this like old leather coat with some like sturdy boots. He kind of looks over your direction and says, like to Benedict Blaze, "So these ones, the people that are escorting you." And he looks around, almost like a bit momentarily confused, sees you as you're walking up the plank. It's like, yes, of course. These are my. Well, what are you anyway? Guards? Should I call you that?
Yar!
Mercenaries, yeah.
Captain Storm! I'm a captain, but not here, I guess. Yeah, guard.
Don't listen to him.
Well, you're a sailor then.
Yep.
Anyone else among you that's a sailor?
Never set my foot on a ship.
Isn't this basically Fritz's first time like ever on an ocean?
Probably.
It's a slave.
Possibly. Well, yeah, probably. I can't remember if you came here by ship. I think you did. You did take a ship from Havengala to Havanitha, I think. But I'm not sure.
Right. Okay, so I do have some ship experience.
Easy or not, let's see.
Well, we'll deal with that. My name is Captain Sarnus.
Rings a bell.
Make a history check.
Let's see. Oh, 3, 4.
No. From the letter you read, where Blaze mentioned his name, yeah, sure, but anything else, no. This is my ship, the Brynamare, as you can probably imagine. Used to be a merchant ship, but as of late I've been doing some, shall we say, service in the Queen's army. She sails just fine as a military ship as well. Oh.
A buccaneer?
Oh,
Out of game, explain, please.
it's basically it's just like a type of pirate.
Pirate.
Fish.
You're paid from the.
Oh, a
States.
privateer.
Yeah,
Yeah, privateer.
Yeah, privateer.
No. It's more for the war efforts. Don't care for hunting pirates. Never was a pirate myself, if that's what you're wondering as well.
Bruh, what do you use that thing for?
You point at the ballista?
Yep.
Well, in case we need to defend ourselves.
Have you ever used it
Of course.
against pirates?
Through Marons lately.
Aw, bruh. They get
Jaxson just it looks at you a bit. You through Marin? Hmm?
Yes, I am through Marin.
Alright.
Did you do some Drexonias?
We're not at war with Drexonia.
No, but they're kinda evil. Sometimes.
I'm sure there are Drexonian pirates.
Yep.
I don't think
And if they attack us, then I defend my ship, obviously.
You shouldn't worry about them.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, this isn't a war vessel, really. I'm essentially lending it for certain missions at the moment. I'm conscripted temporarily to aid in the war. Well, I've spent most of my life sending merchants all over the place.
Yeah, but the action is where the fun part is. So that's what I'm asking.
I enjoy a calm day at sea just as much as I enjoy a riveting escape from pirates.
If we see some pirates, can we plunder them?
We're
I
not
guess-
equipped to take on a heavily armed pirate ship. We can defend ourselves, but that's just about it. We're not gonna fight. And we're definitely not gonna engage anything.
You have Captain Storm here. Okay, yeah, never mind. Let's just sail away. How long will this take?
Well, we'll have to have a bit of a discussion about that, and he turns to Blaze and Cephalus. There are a couple of different routes we could take, two as a matter of fact, that could cut a day of travel, but it would pose some risks. We'll get to that in a moment, though.
Let's go for the risks.
I'll leave you all to discuss it, and then once you've decided, you can come to me. You want me to run you through it now, or
Go for it.
No, I believe.
The Queen's Crest Passage is, shall we call it a rocky path that cuts a few days off the travel. If you're familiar with the landscape, there is an archipelago about a day's travel to the south of it. We go directly through, hugging the coastline, and we'll be able to save a day, maybe two, depending on the weather. However, it is a very rocky part. If things go wrong, it's easy that we take some damage. And, well, worst case, get shipwrecked.
Swim the rest of the way. Yeah, no. The other paths?
Another path is going around the entire archipelago. It's quite big. It'll take us a day or two, depending on the weather. Of course, I will say I've taken the short route before, a couple of times. I'm a relatively experienced sailor myself. I've spent about the last 150 years of my life sailing.
Well, then, that won't be a problem for you then, lad.
Especially because we have Storm here with us.
Indeed.
I think we should take that way.
You see,
Even before we keel haul him.
Benedict Blaze just kind of nods. Well, some excitement could certainly do well, I suppose. I'm not against it. At that point, Cephalus kind of like, Benedict, are you certain this is a good idea? Maybe we should just. Like, oh, absolutely. I trust the decision here from Storm.
Yes.
And Cephalus just kind of like, yes. Benedict, perhaps we should still have a conversation about risk taking. Certainly. Later.
If destiny says it's a dark time to shine, well then we will run into a rock. But this man is quite capable of his steering, so this will be a cakewalk. Nice.
Well, we have a couple of votes in favour. Anyone against
I say the
it?
short route.
Short route.
Well, seems like a very bad idea given the fact that Storm is the one suggesting it, but since his expertise is sailing, I will give him the benefit of the doubt on this one. So, yes, take the short route.
By the way, I didn't remember freaking binoculars cost 1,000 gold. What's with that, man?
It's quite an investment.
You got one?
Yep.
Is it worth it?
Well, if you're planning to do much more sailing, you seem to be a bit landbound at the moment. But
Storm gets extremely offended.
but if you're about to go back to the seas, then can't go wrong with a looking glass.
Yeah, I guess so. Dang.
Anyway, we have a few more things to get done before we set out, but we'll get going within the hour.
Perfect.
Well,
In the meantime, Master Ignis here can probably show you to the sleeping quarters. And Blaze kind of nods and is like, "Ah, yes, we will have to deal with the sleeping arrangements, of course. I will show you. I've already been given the tour of this place.
Let's do it.
Right. At this point, you see, Storm, you'd be the first to notice this. You see an eagle that comes diving down towards you. You kind of like
Roleplay the
react
eagle.
to it. Huh?
You gotta roleplay the eagle, man. Oh shit! What the nerd eagle?
It comes flying down and just lands on your shoulder, Dara.
Oh, thank God! I
Well,
thought
that's scary.
are
No.
the eagles like really big?
Yeah, I mean this one is pretty big. It's quite heavy. You are almost knocked off your feet.
8 strength.
Upon noticing it, it kind of jumps off. The captain is kind of like taken aback. So is Benedict and Cephalus. They all kind of step back a bit, and then the eagle turns into Arisa.
On you.
Well, no, I said it jumped down.
Oh.
After
Worrying.
noticing that Dara was struggling, and then turns into Arisa and just kind of like says, "Hey, I told you that I'd be free."
Yeah. Well, this
Looks
is
like-
Arisa. Arisa, Captain. Captain Arisa.
You don't know his name.
Talking about that, I don't think I got your names.
Jaxson Gillstar.
Dara Raethran.
You?
Fritz Wiprecht.
Right. Well,
You heard me.
I'll get back to my things. You do your thing. And he kind of walks away and starts talking to some of the crew.
Well, looks like the whole co-workers is aligned, eh?
Yes. How did...
Yeah.
So... How was it? Did they find you innocent in the prison?
Yeah. I just had to talk to them.
Stop talking with Jacob Arisa, you got. Talk with Arisa when Will is here.
I'll tell you the full story later.
Nice. There we go. A real NPC talk.
Lovely.
Two Oblivion NPCs having a conversation. How did it go? It went very well. I'm
Well,
glad to
thank
hear that. I'll tell you the full story tomorrow. All right then.
Yeah.
That is actually true, though. Sad but true.
Sad but true.
But true.
All right, so Blaze kind of like turns to all of you, kind of says to Arisa like, "I'm glad to see that you can make it as well. Now, the sleeping arrangements. Let me take you down below deck." And he kind of leads the way, taking you down the hatch to the below decks area. And in the back of the ship, there are these 4 rooms. You see, actually, as you get down here, you see a younger elven man who is kind of sitting just along the sides on a crate. He kind of looks up as he sees Blaze and the rest of you as well. He's quite young, human equivalent of like mid-20s or so he's probably about 40 years old. High elven man. Kind of short-ish blonde hair with a bit of a like kind of middle part, but still like slick back. Quite handsome young man with these very like bright turquoise eyes, and he wears a kind of shortish tunic and a half-length cloak, both of which are like in quite nice quality, and he has like this staff that is leaned up against some of the crates, and he stands up and he says in Southern Common, Master Ignis, are these your gods? And he's like, yes, you should probably use Northern Common around them. They are, not all of them are proficient in Southern. Co-workers, this is Eli, a former student of mine. He asked to follow along on this expedition. And he kind of bows a bit. It is very pleasant to make your acquaintance. I have heard some things about you. You made a name for yourselves here in the city through the arena. As my former master just said, my name is Eli. I am just a bit curious and wanted to take this opportunity to tag along on this expedition.
Are you also a guard? Or
I am a curious observer.
Great. So if we run
Insight check.
Sure. Make an insight check.
You never know.
I still have 100%.
Is it not 20, really?
Hey.
I got my 100% now. 20s, man. Let's see here. Inside.
You don't it's
Okay,
it's enough.
20.
He's definitely underplaying things. You get the sense that he's way more than just an observer.
Okay.
He's definitely... He doesn't seem to be a very good liar either. Like, it
Oh, he's
seems
like-
like he's trying to really, like, hide this, but it's not really working. He's way too nervous about it.
And what are you gonna observe, Mr. Eli?
Well, I I would very much like to see Master Blaze in action, just being out there exploring things. I have, of course, been informed about this this expedition and the purpose of it, and when I heard what it was going to be, I couldn't resist seeking out Master Ignis and simply asking if I couldn't come along and see Can Solos and the potential secrets of it in first person.
Are you not on the Ignis anymore? Did you...
I graduated.
Oh,
I mean, it was when I was still a child that I studied under Master Ignis. And he
don't
kind of
keep on
nods.
studying after that?
Well, history is only one small part of my education. I went on to study some other things as well. So
Great.
I
Well,
would like to say that I have quite a broad education at this point.
do any of us have a broad education? What did you study?
Necromancy. Sort of.
You see, there's like Eli is kind of visibly taken back. He's like, necromancy,
No, a family subject.
family, yes, of course. Family business, I know all about it.
Yeah, they're really good at raising families.
Right. Necromancy. Of course.
You were busy being a slave. You, Dara, living under a rock. Didn't you study under the rock?
I
you
mean, I
study,
have
like-
studied under the rock when I was living with the others, but when I was alone, I didn't have advanced studying available.
Great. And the last one has probably started with weird. She's an NPC.
Arisa will say something like, "Oh well, I have a pretty broad education as well. I've studied with druids. I know smithing. I know herbalism, and just."
I know how to make drugs.
She did learn Undercommon in a few months, so
Yeah. Oh yeah, thank you. Undercommon as well. I know languages. I've studied that too, and and she's just gonna kind of go on a bit, and say all the things that she has learned.
It doesn't seem like it. What?
So, the sleeping quarters.
Yes. Well, there are 4 rooms with a bunk bed in each. Me and Cephalus are going to be sharing one room. As for the rest of you, you need to decide the pairs of who are going to be sharing rooms with. Eli is gonna kind of say, "Yes, I'm afraid one of you will be forced to share a room with me as well."
I'll just give a look towards Fritz.
Yeah, I'll just nod back, just like, yeah, please.
yeah.
Well, looks like it's us
Dar-
two, Eli.
I didn't
yeah,
even
without
need to do
even
anything.
All right. You are Storm, if I understand correctly.
Captain Storm.
Captain
Indeed.
Storm.
Yes.
Very well. And he kind of goes through all of you and like Dara, Jaxson,
Right.
Fritz, and
Does it
Arisa.
butcher a single name?
Nope.
Wow. Except mine, when he said Storm. You fucking.
Whoa.
Very well then. Storm, it would seem
Yep.
that we are going to be bunkmates from now on.
Yes.
Top or bottom?
Wait, how old is Mr. Eli?
Well, in terms of human equivalent age, it would be like the mid-20s-ish. But he's probably, judging by that, because he's an elf, he's probably around 40-something.
Is he older or younger than me in the 20s? Or
Well,
Um,
he's
I'd say
definitely
he-
older than you, literally speaking.
yeah,
But
exactly.
if you want to translate his age into what we are used to with human equivalents, then he looks like he's in his early to mid-20s.
Nice.
But in actual years, he's probably over 40.
How lovely. You can teach me everything about your studies.
Well, we'll, I'm not sure if I'm a good teacher and if my knowledge is very teachable easily.
Well, what is your knowledge then?
A bit of this and that.
What is that? What is this?
Well, history, for instance, is just one.
What history? Are you freaking so...
Osirian history, mainly. But history regarding all the kingdoms and a bit in general. You know, recently I've studied a bit of Thrumerian history because it's always good to know your enemy. I've studied mathematics, the natural sciences, a bit of social sciences as well. Language, I'm actually proficient in multiple languages. Northern Common, Southern Common. Excuse me?
8 times 7!
He says it instantly. I can't be bothered doing the math.
Oh my god! Wow, he knows his mathematics, good
I
stuff.
was just gonna say, like, Storm, don't do it.
I
It
mean,
seems like you're hiding something. Necromancy, perhaps?
There's no shame here. I'm not technically a necromancer, but
No, the necromancy arts are they're not for me. No, that is I don't mean any disrespect here. It is definitely a very difficult subject. I'm certain I have simply never touched that.
Yes, it's so hard that Jax couldn't even become a necromancer.
I see no reason to.
But you're not a necromancer. What's going on, man?
even know the story.
What? Yeah, I kind of know it.
I don't wish for this to become an. I will be in my room.
Eli, before you leave,
Yes.
Storm, he has like a really rabid lizard with him, so just be careful too close
Oh my
to it.
God.
Okay?
Right, I have heard about this.
Tornado, say hello to our new roommate, Eli.
Hello, Tornado. A pleasure to make your acquaintance as well. I have actually heard about you too. Tornado seems to have been like just woke up, so he's like,
He doesn't like
So like always, kind of.
Yeah.
yeah.
You're so nice.
I mean, he's eating or sleeping. That's what he does.
Mm-hmm.
And occasionally destroying books by eating them.
Yeah, when someone tells help, what the flip?
Well, you have a very pretty lizard.
What lizard are you talking about?
Me, of course. Thank you very much. Much obliged, Eli. So
Wait,
I am sadly anti-section, but we'll.
he just seems very confused at this point, not really following what is going on. You look like Storm. You kind of throw a quick glance over at Blaze. He looks equally, completely lost in this conversation. Cephalus, on the other hand, seems to kind of be like very, almost embarrassed by the way this conversation is going.
So Blaze, it's really Eli is really just here to be an observer.
Yes, and a bit of an assistant of mine, to the extent that he's willing.
So on the ship, are we going to work? Are we here to like do stuff like raise the anchor, hoist the colors?
Well, you
Or we're
are.
just gonna chill?
You are not obliged to help out. We have paid for this passage, so you are perfectly allowed to simply sleep all day if that is what you desire.
Amazing.
You have no obligations, is what I'm trying to say. However, I'm sure that the crew would be very grateful if you decided that you did want to help out. Arisa kind of nods a bit and is like, yeah, maybe.
Of course.
Doesn't seem completely opposed to the idea. Ella said, Eli.
Eli.
Golden Oak says.
No. Eli is just gonna say like, well, I am definitely willing to help out. It seems like it could be a great opportunity to gain some experience.
Well, then we just wait for the shit show to start.
All right.
Oh,
So yeah, you all kind of get your cabins, I guess. Blaze and Cephalus has the one on the far left. It's up to you to pick the order of it. Eli is gonna
Far away from place as
Which is
possible.
on the opposite end,
Yep.
basically, because they're Eli is just gonna say like, "Do you mind if I take the bottom bunk?"
Yeah. There.
You mind?
Do you mind, or do you wish to
Yeah.
also have that one?
No, the top one is the best. You should know this.
I don't want to. I'm afraid I'll fall out and hurt myself.
Okay, great. You got the bottom, I got the top.
Excellent. I'm glad that
As
we could
someone
come
who has
to
done that,
agreement.
I will.
I'm just
always
waiting for the
recommend one.
eventual reveal of him being a bedwetter or something like that.
Oh no!
My God, go
Oh.
through the sheets. I'm on the bottom. Strictly drop. What the fuck?
No, it's the bed weather.
All right,
Rule
so
number 1 of top bunk. The bedwetter gets the bottom.
Dara and Arisa and Jaxson, Fritz, who takes the one on the left and who takes the one on the right of the cabins.
Well, one is closer to Storm and one is closer to Benedict Blaze. I'll
Which
go
one
for
is
the one-
worse?
I'll go for the one closer to Benedict Blaze if you don't mind.
Fuck.
All right.
You're just gonna sit.
Poor
you know,
Blaze and Eve. They're gonna hear stuff in the middle.
I'm happy.
Oh my god.
So will Jaxson and Fritz in that case, because they're on the
We
other
won't.
wall, behind the other wall.
Or will we hear Fritz and Jax do stuff? That's
Oh man.
we don't judge here. On
You have the
Polymorphed
most
D&D,
set
We don't judge,
in the
but
other
it's
room.
but
the
Storm
one
does.
I just feel like Storm is going to make a small little hole in the wall to look inside the room or something like that, just to make it.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
I mean, he's not Arisa. He doesn't
No.
go into people's rooms at night. Spies on.
All
True,
right.
but he did. But remember in Mistvale with that nice house you got there.
Oh yeah, but that's a different thing. You do quickly realize that the beds are very narrow and it's very difficult for two people to be on the same bunk, so to speak.
Feel like
We'll
home.
just lay on each other. What the fuck?
Yeah, I mean Fritz is big, so he can be like the blanket to Jaxson. Duh.
Let's move on. It's also quite like cramped in general. Like each bunk or each cabin has a bit of like some seating arrangements and a small table that has all kind of been hammered to the floor to not drift around if it gets a bit stormy. But yeah, in general, they're very like bare bones kind of cabins. There are some blankets and pillows though for you, so you have something. Is there anything you want to do before the ship leaves harbor?
No.
Nah, unless there's something that can be done that's specific.
No.
Yeah, then you just kind of wait a little bit. Are you gonna hang out in your cabins or just kind of walk around a bit, or what do you want to do?
Ground.
Walk around. I will
Stay in
pull
cab.
Storm to the side, like.
Oh.
sometime. Can you keep an eye on Eli?
I got
There-
eyes
there's
on
something
everyone
that
in the coworkers.
I mean, like, there's something he isn't telling us. I mean, just keep an eye on him. You sleep in
Yeah,
the
I
same.
understood that when he couldn't say what he was studying.
Yeah, and he kind of like tried. When he said he was just an observant, I think there's like more to that.
What the frick? He's gonna
Yeah.
steal our stuff.
I mean, yes, you're the most perceptive out of us, so just
I'll do it.
you know what to do if like if you see him steal.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
blade, the Damascus hag is out for vengeance.
Don't hesitate. Don't hesitate.
Storm taking think. A little bit too literal.
Tag frickers.
I need to give Storm more magical swords just so that he stops using Damascus Hag. I hate that curse name so much.
It's the best name.
The Cackling Clarice and the Damascus Hag.
Badass.
Are you sure you don't hate Stortas as well?
That one is just a bad name, it's not cursed.
Legendary name. Legendary.
Oh yes.
Alright, well, you...
Don't worry, he's gonna make more cursed names in the future.
Yeah, don't worry.
It's a thing of his.
You all kind of just hang out for a bit, and eventually you hear how the captain kind of makes the call to lift anchor and start setting sail. And you set out on the open seas.
Ooh, hey.
And I think that is a good place to end the
Oh
session.
my god.
As you make your way out on the seas together for the first time in this campaign.
Yay!
I mean,
Jeez.
Storm
Why-
has done before.
Quite the adventure.
I mean, a lot of you have been on the sea, it's just not really together and not in the campaign. So we'll have a bit of an ocean adventure for a couple of days.
Cracking.
Kraken.
Yeah, I should say also with the route you decided on, the shorter one, it should only take about 2 days to reach Homebrewed.
That's nice.
Nice.
Whereas it would have taken 3 to 4 days, depending on the weather, to take the longer way around.
Nice.
Okay.
You know,
Might keep.
I'm kind of more hoping for the dragon turtle, but you never know. It might as well be a kraken.
I'm hoping for Omnimental, actually.
Didn't
Right.
they release like the elemental princess, and one of them is water based, like challenge rating
Yeah,
20
exactly.
something. That one, put in that one.
Yep.
I'm hoping to see Helga.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Just a
Oh,
siren pops up from the ocean, but it has like the torso of Helga.
Yeah, you know,
that looks
then
bad.
we need to keep her away from Dara because Dara will go crazy.
Dara gets seduced and jumps into the
Hey,
ocean.
that's how you bring up a divorce. Just get Helga here.
I hope Harold comes back to life and he's there.
Yeah, as a haunted sea specter.
To put his vengeance to me, to
Yeah.
Captain Storm.
It's like
Yeah.
comes back like Pike in
Oh my god!
League of
That
Legends.
would be scary.
Just rises from the depths and is like, "You're on the list."
Oh fuck.
You're on the black. You gotta put it like this. You're on the black spot.
Oh yeah, you're on the black spot. True. All right. Well, anyway, we'll resume this next time. We'll see how much happens while you're on the ocean, or if you just arrive safely and quickly in Homebrewed.
Yep.
But yeah,
Yeah.
finally some progress happening, huh? Let's go.
Yeah. We're moving around in the world.
How many days was that? I mean, you're on the 21st now. We started this
It
on the
was, 4
17th
days.
still.
Oh wait, did we do it? I thought
This
it
is
was
the 4th
18th.
day of
I
the
thought-
session.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, then we started on the 18th.
Well, you started on the night
Storm
of the
of
17th, technically. But
Okay,
it was
well-
basically just everybody going home and sleeping.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Well, anyway, nice. Hopefully all of us will be here next time, so that
Yeah.
we don't have to deal with Oblivion NPC conversations when I have to take care of Arisa.
Just make her a shark and put her in the water. Boom. Problem solved. Unless Fritz decides to beast sense her.
All right. Well, yeah. We'll just end the stream there. So have a good one, everybody, and tune in next time whenever we have time for another session.
Yes.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Peace out.
Bye.